All right. What the heck is going on, everybody? It is a big best of 7, a rematch from a finals from just a few weeks ago. And it is Serral for Basilisk, the greatest player of all time in StarCraft 2 in the top left, playing Zerg. It's his map pick for the first map, even though MARU in the bottom right side of the map came in as the lowest seed, which actually gives you the map advantage favor in terms of this tournament. We allow you to pick who vetoes first. Usually, players like to veto first because then they get to pick the first map pick. But MARU actually let Serral veto first and pick the first map. He wants to fight Serral on his strongest map to start this series and then go from there. Fascinatingly, Serral didn't pick Old Republic first. He's left that to the third map in the series. But of course, the next map will be 10,000 feet for MARU. It's a best of 7. It's a massive match. And for those who don't know, Serral had an absolutely dominating streak against MARU from late 2021 until those 2 weeks ago when MARU beat him 4-1 in the grand finals of a tournament. Those early games in that finals were actually very close, right? I think Serral won the first game, nail-biting macro game. Next game or two were also really close, but MARU just was barely getting the edge of him and kind of running away with the games as it went longer. But, 4-1, man, it's a dominating scoreboard. MARU is back in fine form. We were talking to him and Crank, who's, of course, working there with his team. They have a new physiotherapy sort of gym that they've been going to, a clinic, where there's a bunch of different athletes there with all sorts of different, injury rehabilitation. Apparently, MARU's shoulder is feeling the best it's felt in a long time. For those who don't know, he has had a somewhat debilitating shoulder condition for a while. He said vocally it's forced him to change his playstyle sometimes to avoid multitasking as much, as keeping up in those fast-paced games can be difficult for him, but he seems to be in the best form he's been in a few years, and he's looking really, really good. He loves these builds, man. He loves these crazy fast upgrade builds. Now, last time he played Raynor on this map over in the final game of their semifinals over in Thunderfire in China a few weeks ago as well, just before that Luli Cup, he actually went for a mass Marine Marauder Hellbat 3-base 8-rack style on this map. Eventually got a 4th base up, but he never went past 67 workers. It was super all in off this sort of very fast upgrade opening. And Raynor did an excellent job of just picking him apart with Ling counters and mobility and refusing to take bad fights. That, though, was like the best version of Raynor we've ever seen, really. And a Ling runs in, distracts MARU, and he loses his Reaper at the front. Super worth it there for Serral. That's a very nice start. Serral's done a really typical opening. You can see he's doing a classic rule of 1 gas. 7 queens on the way. We'll see if he tries to get away with stopping at 7 queens, or does he build extras and go up to 8 and 9. Quick Evo chambers for Serral. And despite them being quick, he'll still be a full minute, maybe a little bit more behind on the 1-1. Isn't that crazy? That's just how extremely fast MARU's upgrades are. But because of this, MARU, he's not going to have the 2nd and 3rd barracks up. So when it comes to the timing of the medevac marine pressure, that does get slowed down. Wrong. MARU is the GOAT. I agree, MARU is the greatest of all Terrans. Yes. Serral is a different type of GOAT. Replace Terran with time. And you are correct, chat. I do love you guys, but hey, if there is an argument, I've said before, you can actually wholeheartedly believe MARU is the greatest, not Serral, of all time. But it does rely on you believing that Zerg is just advantaged, innately and is just better, and Terran is worse. And if you truly believe that in your core of cores, then I think you're okay and you're justified in believing that MARU is the greatest of all time. Sure. I think when you stretch into that realm, it's quite easy to make arguments for many different players. Oh my lord! 4th command center! Serral sees it, guys! He's spotted it with his Overlord, and that tells him MARU is playing the greediest game ever. This is Oliveira-style greed. Super fast 4th. Unfortunate that he built it there, man. That's really unfortunate, because guess what? He's only on 2 barracks. And he's going 2nd factory. He's going to go into potential... Do you think he goes Widow Mine drops or just double tank production straight away, guys? He might just go Widow Mines and tanks for the mix of units. Quick +2. Let's see how quick he is. +2 armor as well. Wow. He's already about 50 seconds out on the upgrades. Serral, though, is on 80 drones at 6 minutes. We are in an economic arms race. Normally that favors Zerg. This is a very measly drop. That is 8 Marines with 2 medevacs and no combat shields. The Queens could deal with that on their own. I think so. Oh, he's going to go Mutas. I think Mutas is a great choice for Serral. It can keep the activity rate high. It is indeed drilling claws on the way and a reactor, so it's going to be Widow Mines, and 3 more barracks go down. MARU heading to 5 barracks. Now, MARU very well could go late game. He could just rush late game off of this and go full turtle. I think when he sees mutas, he will make that choice. Try to, of course, when he's maxed, push out. But if MARU pushes out pre-maxed, he might give Serral the opportunity to kill timing him. MARU's +2 carapace starts. Yeah, about 54 seconds on the upgrades. Big advantage. Extra 3 barracks go down as well. That's right. MARU going from 2 to 8 barracks all at once. The Overseer will survive. Marines looking for a snipe on the 5th. That's a big snipe if he gets it. And Serral just moved away a little bit. He does have creep nearby. I think it gets saved. Indeed, it does. All right, Serral's going to be careful because this 5th base is what continues your economic growth here. Especially in about a minute, half of these workers need to transfer out of that main to maintain the economy. 7 Mutalisks are on the way. You know, I really liked Mutalisks, and I'm looking at this game, and I'm starting to feel like maybe you need to actually just go straight Hive and Ultras with how greedy MARU's been. I worry that Mutas aren't even going to find much of an opening. I don't think they're a terrible choice, but it feels like a Zerg who's had this much time to be greedy should have the advantage. But I think I'm just not used to seeing a Terran who's done an opening like MARU's. He's got a 6th command center fifth command center building. His 2-2's about to kick in here at 8 minutes. I mean, MARU's in a sick position. I do not have a lot of experience reading games like this, guys. I'm not going to have super strong opinions on who's massively ahead or behind. Obviously, Serral is a bit of a bigger army right now. And this is a bit of a vulnerable moment to push for MARU. But because he has 2-2 versus 1-1, he wants to start trading. No Marauders in this army. It's mostly Marines and Mines, a couple of Hellbats. I think he's too deep, though. I think Serral can clean this up. Mutas are going to go in on the other side. There's no turret. MARU was not expecting this. He's going to keep pushing at the same time. Serral will jump on top there. Lingbane dancing in and out. The Marines and Widow Mines rallying over. Serral happy to lose one of those Mutas. Oh, the friendly fire on the SCVs. He's going to put them all so low. And the army's pulled back. 16 workers have gone down. Massive early damage for Serral. 3-3 has started on time for MARU. If he'd missed that, that would be a real problem because that's one of his main advantages. Two Mutalisks have gone down so far. Sorry for bringing that up. Just needed to snap check if he'd lost a little bit more than I thought. That's, if you see me do that, that's so I can see it. It's not so you can see it. I apologize. I'll try not to do too many flashes on the screen. I know that's bad observing practice, but sometimes I've just got to see. Infestation pit's almost done. Serral's going to try and take these middle bases. MARU stretching out to a 5th base and building a 3rd factory. He's also getting +2 vehicle weapons. Mutas grouping up. 18 on the map. That's Widow Mines. Watch out for the Widow Mines, Serral. Serral does not fly into the Widow Mines. Wisely, just going to pick off the gas. Gets 1 SCV with the bounce damage. MARU quick on the stim. Hive has started. 4 spine crawlers building on this right side. And the creep, not that amazing here for Serral. You can see, though, he's pretty active on spreading it, right? If you could spread through the middle. Oh, yeah, he's really good on his creep spread right now. Realizing MARU's playing so turtly, you've got to take advantage by spreading out as much as you can. He's got enough Lingbane to easily bust this planetary if there's no bio supporting it. And the bio moves away. He might distract on this left side with the rest of his army and then go in on the right where that's the real target. Mutas find an exposed Widow Mine. There's 1 Thor out, 2nd on the way, but it's not here just yet. Upgrades are even right now. Serral wants to trade. This is a distraction army. Oh, he can click on that command center. Good cancel for MARU. Good cancel for MARU. The planetary should get blown up. Serral does click on it on the disengage, and at the same time, he goes in here. He does let a few of these SCVs escape, but double planetary snipe and cancels the new command center. That is a huge move. We've talked about this a lot in the past. The biggest weakness of Terran is also their biggest strength. Let me explain. A lot of players talk about how broken late game Terran is because of what? Mass orbital, mass command center. You're 100% right. It is the biggest strength of Terran. If they get to endgame with mass command center, they're pretty much favored in every situation in the ultimate endgame. But it's really hard to get there. And if you keep killing these command centers, MARU's not going to have a chance to grow that orbital count. He's only got 3 orbitals right now. And Serral, yes, he's got a few minutes ahead of him where he's down double upgrade, but he did that trade when he was even on upgrades. He's now started 3-3 Adrenal. Ultra Cavern, +2 on the flyer attacks. He's going for many different things, and oh my, that armory, you can't get repair access on that. Bad armory placement goes down just before +2 vehicle weapons finished as well. He has his 2nd armory building plating, but that is a very good upgrade snipe timing. MARU is up against the wall right now. This is Serral's map pick to start the series. I was wondering why he didn't pick Old Republic. I'm watching this game, and I'm like, you know what? I'm perfectly fine with him not picking Old Republic. This seems like a good map for Serral with how this game has gone so far. No doubt Serral's pride was wounded after their last run-in. Let's see if he can change the story. The Ling Bane rolling through. Can he take out this command center? No. That was a good defense. You could see it's gone from even trading to now 1,300 in Maru's favor. These Banelings will try to roll in, but there's 2 tanks in position. The Mutas could snipe the tanks. There's not... Oh, wait. There are 3 Thors. Run away, Serral. Oh, he tried to target the mine. I think he accidentally misclicked the SCV. He got one. I think he got 2 of the mines. But then I think he barely targeted an SCV on that last volley. Air armor's coming in now as well, so it's +2 attack and +1 on the air. Sorry, guys. Am I blind? Where is that spire? There it is on top of the ramp. Changeling's getting blasted. Creep is good. Rich gas base on the right's being taken. If he could mine this base out as well, that'd be great. A bonus thing Serral could do is he could try to mine this base since Maru's really adopting a wide stance. He's getting a solid base and he's just trying to hang in here. Maru's on 4 bases. He's floating this one back out. Trying to get back up to 5. Serral wants to go. Does take out a Widowmine. Oh my gosh! He just lost like 6 mutas. The Widowmine Thor combo, brutal. He goes for an engage here, but that's an amazing position for Maru. Serral just got minced. Serral just stuck his hand in the meat grinder and he just found out, guys. 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, it was 6,500 versus 6,500 units lost. There is now a 6,000 resource lost advantage in favor of Maru. But you know who's not screwing around? Serral. He's building Corruptors and Ultras and Lings and Banes. It's the ultimate mobile late game army. Yes, there's no Broods, there's no Spellcasters just yet, so he is missing that little bit of quality, but he's going to have really mobile, just pounding units, and the Corruptors will be very good for finishing off Libs and Medivacs. That being said, Maru's not really moving on the map at all, so the Corruptors aren't going to have that much angle. Baneling's thinking about rolling in here. He will take out a little bit of this bio. A bit of an ambitious trade, though, since Serral has not finished remaxing just yet. Serral's got to keep his cool, man. Maru denying that base. I feel like he just pissed Serral off a little bit there, and Serral's got to calm down. He's got to Nidus Worm up. He's had an amazing start in this game, but remember what Rainer was saying when he was watching Maru's matches recently in this very Twitch chat. He was saying, oh no, Maru figured out he doesn't have to attack and he can just turtle. We're screwed. And I think Rainer was a little tongue-in-cheek when he said it, but I think he was also, there was some real truth to it. He was like, uh-oh, Maru realized he's allowed to turtle in this matchup. Our Zergs are in trouble. Because Maru has been the king of late game for a very long time, but he never seems to get there in a playable position against Serral. And this was another game where I didn't think he'd be able to get there. And yet, the ghost count starts to grow. 2 2s on the way for his mech. He's got a decent Thor count, which means early Broods aren't going to be effective. Here we go. Serral's got to get more damage. But a lot of the units are on the right. He's going to go wee-wee on the planetary. The Ultra Bane tries to roll in, but most of the army's on the right side, kind of avoiding this. I think Serral needs to just run away now. Kill the planetary, run back. I think for that fight to have worked, he needed to be coming from this side as well. But that means you're taking tank fire from over here as you flank on the army. And the way Maru does this, right, he's always covering an area, but he's always got like a high ground to retreat to. He's got a lovely spready of siege tanks. Excellent play here for Maru. Good Fungal. Fungal plus Corruptors will take out a Medivac, damage a few more of them, but can't fight down this ramp. This has always been the no-go zone. If you fight here as Zerg, you are not going to go well, Serral. I think you just have to give this base up and go elsewhere. We've seen remember guys, Solar versus Clem. Best of 5 group stage. Similar situation. Solar was way ahead, but then he kept fighting over here, trying to defend this area. And trying to attack and overwhelm some of those areas as well. And it gets very, very painful. I mean, it was kind of vice versa. I guess it was up here. He kept attacking down that ramp. I think you've got to use your mobility. If Maru pushes one side, you push the other. Serral not pushing to the right side. He doesn't. I mean, the thing is, he's going to lose these bases either way. He's got to get damage. He's going to try and engage. Not a good fight for Serral. The tanks are all on the low ground, mate. Bad fight for Serral. This right side has to be the next attack angle, surely, guys. He does somehow keep the bottom left hatchery alive for now. Serral is now down 10,000 in the resources lost, and this game has gone from, I think, a very good game for Serral to not so good. I've been saying for a long time the problem Maru has against the Basilisk, Zerg, Serral, and Rainer is that he's a king of the late game, but they're way better than him in the mid game. Maru, though, you can see how he is taking control in the late game. you can see where MARU is the big dog. In the late game, he just sets up this beautiful push. 2 tanks, Marauders, 3 more commands, and it's his orbital counts up to 4. He's going to have a few more. Great fungal, though! Oh, Serral fighting front on is a bit of a wild decision, but he is taking some of these units down. His Infestors, unfortunately, they're running to their death. The Corruptors do go forwards. Serral's bank is just not that big, and if he I mean, if MARU keeps this 6th up, it's game over. It's just like, it's too inefficient. Still down 10,000 units lost. This right side being unmolested right now. Nidus Worms have not been able to get up. What's the tank count at, guys? 13 siege tanks. I really enjoy Broodlords normally. This is not a game where I would think to go Broods, but actually we are entering that stage where it makes sense. If you look at the unit count, Widowmines and tanks are really bad against Broods. There's 6 Widowmines, 13 tanks. There's nothing else. He's like, Maru's literally got nothing but siege tanks and SCVs, guys. He's basically playing mass siege tank SCV against the best Zerg in the world. But he's doing this because Serral's so focused on the ground army. Finally, the Broodlords are coming in. I think Serral could have busted this with just a mostly Zergling army a long time ago. Notice there's not that many ghosts as well. Serral keeps having a big contingent of Banes, but these are basically just throwaway money. I think actually he should have very few Banes, and I guess 19's not that many. It's going to be really hard for Serral. MARU here playing mass tanks, slowly building the ghost count. He's also got his last upgrade, +3 vehicle weapons on the way. The sensor towers spreading across. He's trying to take a 7th base and an 8th. Wait. Is MARU not making that many orbitals? Only 5 orbitals in this game. He's going to abandon the right side entirely, which is just crazy. Okay, he does re-siege 1, but still only 2 tanks there. Serral's just afraid to push this right side. I mean, there's no way MARU can be pushing the left and defending these bases on the right at the same time. This seems like a massive tactical oversight, and it's the same one we've seen from multiple players where 3 siege tanks are able to defend an entirely open side, and the Zerg gives up all the bases on the other side, but doesn't even punish. I think this is a tactical mistake, guys, from Serral. MARU's playing brilliantly, but he should have lost these bases 3 minutes ago. The fact that he's been able to keep these this whole time, and now Serral's waiting for Broodlords to break it, I think Serral's traumatized by those last few fights and how bad they've got, and he's kind of had the confidence just walloped out of him. Ultraling Bane's going to jump on top. Bit too far forward on creep there is MARU. Bane's going to get on top of the ghosts. Oh, good cloak, but still loses a few of those to those Banes. Ultraling Overseer does pull back units last time. Still 10,000, guys. Serral's trading dead even since he got to the 10k versus 10k. And that's very impressive. The problem is he's just lost 3 bases in the bottom left, and he's only now denied this base on the right. Serral's going to stop to a very slow, patient, efficient level of play. I don't think he's going to maintain this efficiency, though, in the long term. I think MARU, when he gets the Thors out, few Vikings, the ghost count gets a bit higher. He's one missed, ghost getting some EMPs on the Infestors away from everything going downhill. This creepy Infestor from behind is really good, though. He wants to catch these ghosts. Broodlords do not have any anti-air support. The Vikings, you can see, trying to spread out so Fungal doesn't hit both of them. He tries to Fungal, but he only gets one of the Vikings while the Broods are trying to run away. Overseers do distract momentarily. These drones are in trouble. Serral does not have the income to bleed out like this. And now, I think this is where Serral's ground army should rotate to the left side now. Try to smash through here. 4 tanks, 4 Widowmines, 2 planetaries. It's scary. I kid you not, 5 siege tanks even. But it's also wide open, and you gotta get him while these command centers are building. Serral, he's very frontally focused. Now, I've always described Serral as a bit more of an angry goat, where he likes to lock horns with his opponent rather than play the runaround game. A lot of Zergs will be more counterattack focused, a bit more cheeky. Serral likes to really assert himself and beat you in the front-on fights. It's always been what he's best at. I think that's where MARU matches up way better than Serral, though. Maybe not way better, but I think it's his best shot. I will out-micro you with Ghost Lib and Thors and Hellbats and all this. I think he can do it. Serral's rotating his whole army to the left now. Natural is open a little bit. Only a few tanks there. 1 ghost going forward. I guess that's for Nuke Caress. He's got 1 nuke in the bank. Oh, nice Fungal. But throws a Microbial Shroud as well. Oh, the ghosts come forward, and that's going to be 1 dead Brood. No Overseer with the Broodlords. This is something you guys hear me talk about a lot. I really do believe you've got to have an Overseer following your Broods at all times. Or you've got to be very good at manually putting one in Oversight whenever you're anywhere near the Terran. Oversight is where they go static and they stick the eyeball out of the top of their head. Nice nuke on the right side. He's now going to run in there with that ghost. A couple of things need to go deal with that. MARU dragging this on. His bank expands. Serral's still rebuilding drones, even this deep in the game. Ultra Baneling on their own. The Bane's at the Ghost, it's good, but look at these tanks he's got to retreat to. Maru trying to bait him in. Nice fungal. You don't really want to engage the Banes on the Thors. The Lings and the Ultras will do good, though. I mean, there's only one Ultra to snipe, so the advantage of that fight there for Serral is you get a bunch of Thors, which is brilliant. And there was only one Ultra there as a really good target. That Thor does survive, though. Blue Flame. Oh, he forgot Blue Flame! Oh, Maru forgot Blue Flame. Okay, he's adding it now along with servos. Better late than never. It's a lot of ghosts. There's only 3 Hellbats, no Blue Flame on him, but I think that's enough ghosts with 3-3. Cloak comes in as well. Does spam a little bit of energy. Ooh. Maru is unreasonably good at this style, man. I thought this early game was so good for Serral. And to be fair, it was. I mean, Serral took a bit of a derpy fight. Which ledge was it? Where he attacked around the ledge from both sides, hey? Was it over here or something? I think it was here. The tanks, he was like attacking around both sides of the cliff, and it didn't go well. And those mutas got really smashed by Widowmine and Thor. How many mutas did he lose in total? 22. It wasn't as big of a muta commitment as some players make. Because he was playing, first of all, massive economy. Mutas came out a little bit later. Gases on this side, going up. The fact that Maru's getting to claim this middle base is so huge, man. All he needs to do is deny Serral from taking this. And I think long term, he probably wins off of efficiency. I say probably because the fact that he's still only ahead 12,000 now in the resources. Serral's still keeping it pretty close to even, which is scary for the Terran. Goes up the guts. Sometimes when your opponent's so good at covering the edges, going up the middle's the best move. Burrows the Zergling. Beta scan out, just being a nuisance. There are 11 orbitals now. Oh, wow, he was able to finish all these orbitals. But yeah, I definitely think Maru pushing up this ramp and being allowed to claim this whole area. If there's one thing, I think there's about 3 minutes in this game where Serral tactically made a massive misstep. Even after those big fights, the fact that he lost control of this whole side without YOLOing the right side and denying both of these bases, and like you could defend the bottom left with a very small squad of Ling Bane just by attacking Maru on the right and forcing most of his army to this side, especially if you try to get in his main, because the production of Terran is really very important for them to defend. Those add-ons take a lot of time. It's all going to be about the trading with where this game's gone to, guys. Corruptors finding a few libs is big, but of course, Maru snipes a bunch of drones in a base. 2 libs do go down. Gridlord's hitting the right side. A few mules trying to steal minerals. They'll take the minerals off the base, but most of them won't return. There's 25 minerals. I think might have barely got home. Corruptor's going to try to take out this base. Where are the infestors? Where's the units? Where's the Ling Bane? Where's the overseers? Serral, where are your overseers? What is this, guys? I've seen this from all the top Zergs recently. No overseers with the Broodlords, and this time none with the Corruptors as well. This is huge. Serral is tilted. I mean, he's the guy who doesn't normally make this mistake. This is the mistake I always smack on about Dark doing. I'm like, Dark, split your overseers up, mate. Because if he gets caught, he's only got Fungal here for detection. Fungal's good, but you should be able to at least see where the ghosts are so you can aim your Fungals better, though. Ghost comes in from that side. He's going to nuke this base yet again. Serral! Careful, careful, careful. Okay, he spotted it. He does run away, but he's losing another base up here as well. Serral right now losing a queen. You lava. He's in trouble. Maru, I can't believe it. He's even stealing this base. He's bullying. Now, he might go a bit too far forward, get a bit too cocky, throw an army away, and that could turn things around because these armies are so expensive to replace. I just don't see how Serral's going to pull that off, man. Maru looking brilliant right now. Maru looking... I really thought Serral looked so well prepared. He got himself to such a good position, but... you need more than just a good position. You got to be able to finish him. That Ultra just staring. Letting the Zerglings do the hard work. Finally goes in to finish him off. These Thors are 500 resources a pop. They are not cheap. Units lost tab 11,000 now in favor of Maru. So you can see Serral's actually trading efficiently even while he's losing these bases. Problem is Maru's getting so many bases to mine from, he actually can probably trade inefficiently. Serral is getting a base down there in the bottom right. Might be able to transfer some workers. Plus 2 ship weapons on the way for Terran. Yeah, he's got the Nidus defensively, guys, to transfer units to the top right, but he was never able to get it offensively into the enemy base. He hasn't used it in a long time. Here comes the push. Thors, Ghosts, Hellbats. Only one lib. I think because the Corruptors were pretty useful, he said, let's not do that. The Hellbats. I think he could have rolled some Banes into those. Decent EMP. 2 of the Infestors are empty. The others still have energy, though. If you fungal the Ghosts, they can't land snipe. You want to use the full radius of that fungal to pick away at them. Watch out for the Broodlords. Oh, he's going to go for it. Serral's trying to jump on him. MARU wisely senses this and denies him the opportunity to get the engage. Serral has to just abduct a lib and chip at him with the Broods, but he's got to pull back, I think. He's going to go for it. Serral's going to go for it. The Banelings, so many Banelings are going to crush in. The Blinding Cloud is exceptional, but I don't know, man. There's so many Thors. Banes aren't good against Thors. He's going for the Ghosts. The Broods do some good damage. There's no more Blinding Cloud. The Broodlings are killing those Thors. The Ghosts get away from it. The Banelings are just running around. This is such an expensive fight for Serral. Did he kill enough units to make it worth it? He's down 14,000 now in the resources lost. MARU there saw what Serral was trying to do. Serral would like to remax and get on the production. If you get on the production, you can win this game. That's the big if, though. More Thors, Hellbats, and Ghosts to rebuilding. You've got a quicker remax as Zerg. He did have that massive advantage early on. He's got the quicker remax. There's how many barracks? Only 8 barracks? There is 5 factories, though. Did lose a tech lab on this front one. That Thor will come out and you have to rebuild the add-on. How is Serral so rich? Well, remember, at this stage of the game, any other Zerg, like the best ZvT player in the world, Raynor, would have probably 30,000 resources negative. Solar, 30,000 resources negative against Clem at this point. Serral is a freak. He is, remember, he was down 10,000 when it was like, I think it was like 20,000 versus 10. Since then, he's traded very close to even with MARU over the last 20 minutes. And that's shocking. But problem is MARU's also mining a crazy amount of the map as well. Ling's going to deny the top left, but he's going to lose this base at the same time. MARU, oh my god, that ghost count. 13 ghosts. Here we go. Fungals going out there. Broodlord's getting some good shots. He's got to be careful of the Thors, not to mention the snipes. One Broodlord does go down. The lib's looking very juicy. Lings are countering. That one's Zergling in the mineral line. He's the one who could get the real damage with 3-3 and adrenal glands. More Lings are going to run in the front as well. Yeah, Zergling's got 3-4 SCVs. Very good, very good. Broodlords pull back on the right. Orbital not lifting. MARU with a bit of a doo-doo there. Serral not borrowing a Zergling that time, but of course one of the 57 different orbital command centers will fly over to replace it. I do joke, it is 10 orbitals right now. Killing an orbital is always nice. Anytime you can drain these minerals, these endless scans and mules of the Terran. Few resources left up here. Serral will just have to long distance mine these. There's not much else there. Serral's bases are almost mined out. MARU still has a bit more minerals here. Here. Here, he's not even mining that much. MARU just has a lot more minerals on his side of the map, I think. So Serral's bank currently bigger. But for how long? Ghosts, Libs, Thors, and Medivacs hanging out. Ooh, Serral's just going to try to wait for MARU to misstep. Serral's going to use Supreme Patience. Now, this is the sort of game, guys. Well, I think if we go back to 2021, 2022, Serral probably wins. And do you know why, guys? Because he would do the Dark Micro. You guys know the Dark Micro, right? Back when the Broodlings lasted longer, ran faster, and just had better stats all around, you would attack your own creep tumor, and then you'd basically siege them from 2 screens away with Broodlings. And I think because they're both kind of just playing this very standoffish style, I think if you gave Serral those ridiculous Ultra Siege Broodlords, he'd probably be able to wear MARU down. But as it is, I'd say MARU's favored here. I think MARU, with recent performance, his patience as well, he just needs to not chuck a beyond, don't get overeager, bide your time. Doesn't care about losing these mules. Every time they finish mining, they steal 25 minerals off the base, which is 25 less minerals that Serral does not get to mine. And sometimes they even get to return some of them. Look at that. Oh, Infestor gets caught. Turret spotted him coming in there. 9 Broodlords. I was wondering if anyone would try to play like 25 Broodlords in the Ultra endgame. of this patch of ZvT. Because they shoot at max range much faster, I'd theorized it might be playable with perfect Serral micro, with Vipers, Infestors, to play 25, 30 Broodlord max. And basically, even though Thors should beat it, the terrain blocks the Thors from all fighting. You stack your Broodlords up and you hit them from an angle, and you're only fighting like a few Thors at a time. And if you're good enough with your Fungals, the Ghost can't land snipes, and you kind of dance in and out and chip at them. But that's heavily theoretical, incredibly hard to do. By the way, this guy, Captain D-Head, man! It's a +3 armor siege tank. It's taking 2 damage a hit. Oh, no, 1. Is it 1? No. Wait, shouldn't 5 damage minus... Oh, it has 1 base armor, doesn't it? So it's on 4 armor. It's taking 1 damage. Changeling's going in for the vision. Ling run by once again. Dude, if Captain D-Head gets to kill Sergeant Chadhammer on the left side, I'm impressed. She's got 32 kills. We will be checking in on that to see if it works out. The Lings are distracting Maru. Maru doesn't really care too much about one siege tank. He's got bigger fish to fry. Big flying fish that throw their babies at you, to be specific. Serral does not want to give up resources on this base, but he has to be efficient over all things. Right now, he's down 14,300 resources. He will lose a little bit more on these units, but grabs a lib. That's 300. Not bad, not bad. Hatchery does go down. It looks like Captain D-Head did fall. I think this Ghost came in with 19 kills and did take care of it. There is another nuke as well to distract Serral and blast some lava off a hatchery. Maybe catch him with a surprise nuke somewhere in the mid-ground could be good. Overseers are on top of that Ghost. Serral should see that, but he's not noticed it. Now he has. I bet you when he gets that nuke warning, if we go to Serral's camera, I bet you he zooms between his bases so quickly. This is Serral's camera, guys. Look at it for a few seconds. Try and get an idea of what he's focusing on. It's all about efficiency. You want your opponent to overextend, get onto creep a little bit so you can pick off their units. Be so paranoid about Ghost sneaking in. Oh, he's going to abduct the lib. Throws a single Broodlord volley. Pulls back. Look at that. Very efficient. That's what you got to do with Serral. Maru's throwing some SCVs away, it looks like. Wants more supply for his army. Ooh, catches a Thor. Nicely done here for Serral. Serral, pretty slick, man, on the trading, but how do you ever deal with the army? You need Banelings to clear the Hellbats and the Ghosts. There's only 12 Ghosts. It's mostly Thors. The Ling run-bys are excellent. Zerglings are the best unit for doing run-bys. Getting in there with your little backstabbies. Getting in their mineral line. Picking off units left, right, and center. They're very cheap. They're almost free. We often say Zerglings are free in these sort of scenarios. Obviously, we're being a little over the top with that, but it's not too far off the mark. He's building Queens. Oh my, guys, you might be wondering, why is he building Queens? Queens are one of the lowest damage units for their cost, and the tanking isn't really worthwhile against Thors, tanks, libs, ghosts. It is purely, what he's trying to do is recycling. Serral right now is trying to build a recycling plant where he turns pure minerals in Queens into transfusers for his gas units. He already knows the end game is going to be his gas running out, so he's trying to turn minerals into gas. Oh god, but Maru's not going to give him time to do that sort of stuff. The Thors are pushing. Nice fungal Baneling, Blinding Cloud. Beautiful fungal Baneling, Blinding Cloud. The Thors are kind of getting hammered by those broods. The Neurals on the Thors as well. Baneling's connecting with some of those Ghosts. Oh, but the Overseers didn't chase. The Overseers did not chase, which means those Ghosts may get away. That Ultra, I think, gets sniped a few times. The Broodlords and Corruptors are going to clean things out. That was an amazing fight for Maru. An amazing fight for Maru. Wow. For Serral, I mean. Sorry, I'm saying the wrong name. I'm freaking out so much. Obviously, for Serral. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Okay, so that closed the gap by how much? 4,000? About 4,000, I think? Because I think it had swung up a little bit for Maru to 14,500, 15,000 advantage. Now it's only 11,000. This is an amazing fight for Serral. He's got some queens out, so he's going to start transfusing broods, corruptors, infestors. Those gas units keep him alive for longer. Maru's out of mining, I say, while finding a base that... Remember, he wasn't mining this for a long time earlier. So these are his last minerals there and there for the most part. He's got 2 patches here. Serral's obviously dead on mining as well. Got 10 minerals and just this. So this is Serral's mineral bank. So Maru has the bigger mineral bank. Gas bank is what's interesting now. As Maru's like, screw you, I'll steal those last minerals. Starts trying to mule hammer them, which is a good call. Anything every 25 minerals you take from him, it's damage, you know? It's like killing a Zergling. 6 corruptors, 2 broodlords building. Maru's got a bigger gas bank. He's also got 900 gas. 70 gas there, not worth much. 500, so he's got 1,400. 1,400 gas, about 1,500 gas left to mine for Maru. Put him up to about just below 6k. Serral, I think has mined out all the gas on his side. He hasn't missed any, right? No. He's done all of them. Okay, so Maru's going to have a bigger mineral and gas bank. Serral needs another fight as good as the last one. Maybe better. I mean, Serral pulled off an amazing engage, but Maru's looking impatient. The ghost gets very far forward, but he can't land the EMP. The Vipers do land some spells. The Thor's doing pretty good. Maru trying to force the issue. The Infestors do go very, very deep. EMPs are not landing on them. The Corruptor flies over the top, but that means most of the Corruptors are going down. He's got too many Corruptors and not enough other units. Serral falling back, but Maru, he's putting his hand in the meat grinder right now. The Lings are ruining his expansion behind this. Maru, he's trying to force it. Serral, with the extreme patience of the most patient Zerg in the world. Anyone else would have tried to force it. Dude, that siege tank just killed 5 Infestors. I kid you not, that siege tank targeting for Maru was out of this world, but I think it was too little too late. Oh my lord, his army gets completely routed. Maru tries to force the fight. I'm looking at his face. He did not need to do that. This was absolutely a game where I think the defending player probably had the advantage, but he got over eager, he pushed in, he chased, and he was chasing into fields of Blinding Clouds, Fungals. The Broodlord, the Ultraling Bane pulled back, waited for his army to get overextended before they engaged, and I said he needs to just not chuck a Beyond. That is exactly what Beyond is known for doing in these games. Beyond will play 35 minutes of the most patient, awesome late game you've ever seen, and you'll go, damn, Beyond's a late game god. I love Beyond. If you're out there listening, I love your play, but the one weakness you have in late game is you'll sometimes randomly be ahead and you'll just go, I'm bored, let's go! And you'll grab your army and you'll charge on creep and try to kill the Zerg. But this sort of late game, it's about camping. It really is. Now, Maru has enough bank. He might still win this game. He's still ahead 10,000 in the trading. He's going to be able to remax. Dude, what's the... Is he going to double down and play perfectly now? He's still got 1,600 gas and 4k minerals. He can max out. Dude, Serral can't quite max out. I mean, he's got 50 army supply lead. But once Maru spends his bank, I think he closes that gap. That's gross. No! Yes! If you're a Terran player, yes. If you're a Zerg player, no. He trades a Ghost to remove the energy on 7 Infestors. Which means Serral is going to avoid fighting for at least 3 minutes. He needs to let those Infestors regenerate. He's got to try and avoid fighting, but I don't think Maru can push. Arguably, you traded resources there. The Ghost dies. The Infestors will come back to being useful as long as there's no fight in the next minute or two. Everything's being mined off the map except 500 minerals there. He's floating an orbital to it. Maru knows his lessons. Probably not worth building a gas for 70 gas on that. And Serral's mined all the minerals out on his side. Serral hates these games, by the way, guys. He does not like these games. But he somehow plays them more patiently than any other Zerg in the world. And he just says, well, I know what I have to do to win. I think Serral just cares more about winning than everyone else. Creep Tumor does a bit of a juice there. Forward juice trying to get some creep spread out. See, Maru's going to push again. Dude, Maru doggedly pushing 3 times in a row into the same area of the map. Maru's a mad dog. Serral's like, it's my turn to steal minerals, bro. Abduct. But he doesn't... Oh, Serral doesn't have much anti-air. Oh, Serral has like 1 queen and 4 corruptors for anti-air. Ugh, that's not great. Viper's got to watch out. Serral's getting pushed around this map. His Infestors have regened about 65 energy. Oh, Serral not watching. Ultra goes down. Maru will take that discount Ultra. Maru still has bank and he's maxed out. How many units did he have in the queue on his production facilities? He must have already queued up so many units when I was looking at his bank before. The fact that he's still at 3k, 1k? He must have had like 2 Thors per factory queued up. Oh, here we go. Oh, nice abducts on the libs coming in, but these Ghosts coming in, getting good spells. No! All right, we immediately unpause in the middle of the fight there, guys. Pommy's out. Sorry for that untimely lag. Ultras, Broods, Banelings, Zerglings, and Infestors trying to fight it out. Serral's going to fall back. Maru's going to push forward, relentlessly cornering the Zerg prey. I think most players would have camped this out if they had Maru's skill set. Maru's like, I don't need to camp it out. I can finish you on your side of the map deep on creep because I am Maru. I am the greatest Terran player to ever grace this game. It's a wild choice. 1 EMP ruins Serral right now. Serral can't back away from fights anymore. He cannot afford to back away from any more fights. Ghost gets picked off. Still no Overseer with the Broodlords is crazy. Ultras getting picked off by snipes. Ultraling Bane could fight. Those Hellbats are exposed to the Banes. Oh my god, look at this though. Viper's coming in. Parasitic Bomb goes down on those. The Ultraling Bane gonna be forced to engage. There's nowhere else to run. Serral kind of has to commit here. And up against the wall, he has to fight. And there's no Blinding Clouds. He used them all on Parasitic Bombs on the libs because he didn't have enough anti-air. Serral got cornered and he used the less effective spells there. MARU finishes him off. What a game that was. I mean, that was one of these games where Serral got a really good momentum lead. I think he made a few bad fights and then he kind of lost confidence for about 5-10 minutes. MARU just built advantage upon advantage. Serral started getting good Ling run bys. He was patient with his army. He was still trading evenly, which was like keeping him in the game, but it didn't look good. And then MARU kind of YOLO'd a few engagements, but he'd already mined so much of the map. And in the midst of some of the bad parts of the fight, there was also just overwhelming, powerful good in the fights as well. GG, well played. MARU takes an epic game 1. All right, guys. Serral on the bottom right side of the map. It's a 16-hatch opening on 10,000 feet. He lost his first map pick, and that does not bode well for him. But of course, Serral is famous for winning on the best Terran maps. If you go back over many years, there are a lot of maps. Beckett Industries, Submarine, Babylon. Oh, there's another one. I can't quite think of the name right now. I remember there was one where Kira Marine loved pushing his 8-Rax builds through the middle of as well. There's a bunch of these maps. Serral would always have an insane win rate on them. And that's what's so cool, is he always has this habit of winning on the maps where he should be least favored. And we'll see if he can pull that out, though, because MARU's an absolute tank. The problem for Serral is you can't really play late game on this map. You get up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases, and then these middle bases are near impossible to defend for you. And it just means you don't have enough bases to mine out. You can't play that long, drawn-out game. On a map like Mothership, you could, because there's a whole empty players spawn filled with bases. Terran style is disgusting. I would disagree, guys. I don't think we've seen any Terran style today. I think we've seen MARU style. I don't think anyone else plays a game that looks anything like that last one. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you'll see people in late game with ghosts trying to just hang out to the end. I think that's so different to the way, the way MARU plays it is, I can tell you from the player's perspective as well, an entirely different experience. He's gonna get it. Oh, ho, ho! MARU gets a drone and a Spore Trick. Very nicely done. And is it disgusting? Yes, it is. But like, that's exactly what you want. I don't know if you guys understand. There's a lot of people who get, sometimes they'll be like, this is a disgusting build. And people will be like, oh, why do you hate him so much? I'm like, what are you talking about? I just gave the player the biggest compliment. Like Serral's opening, guys, he had 80 drones at 6 minutes in that last game. His opening was disgusting. To be fair, MARU's was as well. It was an evenly matched, disgustingly greedy build for both of them. But you really want your opponents to think, geez, this is not even fair. And that means you're playing good StarCraft if they think that. Double gas. MARU going to go for a tempo opening. And what was so interesting is he did this against Serral a fair bit last time they played. And I thought it was a bad call. I think Serral should be best matched up against these sorts of builds when he plays MARU. I think this is his best advantage. And yeah, oh no, sorry. It's double gas after third commencement. Never mind, guys. I'm so excited. I've lost sense of timing in the game. He's playing a bit more conservative, which I think makes sense. I was going to say double gas before third commands, and it doesn't match up well for MARU versus Serral. I think you're way better off putting the pressure on Serral to finish the game. And that is indeed what MARU's doing. Clever play for him. Now, this is where you drop 2 gases and you play mech, yeah? He's shown he can play top-level mech as well. That's what's kind of scary about him recently. Could play battle mech. Could play bio. It always ends in the same place. If he goes mech, he transitions into engineering bay upgrades and ghosts later on. If he plays bio, he transitions back into mech and second armory later on. And that's what's so cool about it. He's got a lot of range. You know, I always want to throw it back. I've been saying for years, why doesn't MARU just try to super turtle and play late game? Oh, third and fourth gas. He's playing mech. He's playing mech. All right, very nice. All right, we're gonna mech game, guys. I was like, why doesn't he try that old ghost mech style that he used to have? He beat the heck out of Serral in the late game in 2022 with it. One game. And then he just never did it again. And I was like, come on, man. Was it in his 2-0 victory in like a group stage, or was it I don't know if it was a winner or lost that series, but I remember there was one game where he wrecked him with it. Double armory off one factory. MARU loves his upgrades. Now, this version of the build, incredibly weak if you're playing solar and he figures out you're going mech, because he'll just kill you with a German taxi. You know, you'll load some queens into a drop, shove you with roaches, ravages, zerglings. And with only one factory, you can't hold that, because the Banshee is everything. Suddenly there's an Overseer and a bunch of queens. Banshee can't stop that. You just die. I'd say this is an incredibly safe build against Serral. Serral almost never does attacks like that. Though he has opened roaches this time. Link speed into roaches, one of my least favorite builds unless you've pegged your opponent as playing mech. He might just smell it out. He might know that MARU likes mech on this map as well. 8 queens, 19 zerglings. Drones are exposed. Hellions get 3 drones with their first volley. Transfuses are pretty good for buying time. Queens throw out damage about as fast as a toddler throwing bits of his food on the ground, having a tantrum. Not the most effective, just annoying for the Hellions more than anything. The Queens do push the Banshees away. Good split on these. And Serral does not want to lose this base, but he's going to. Transfuses will not save that. Part of me wanted him to try, man. Yeah, 2 transfuses available. Third one would have come in. Would have only survived a couple extra volleys, but maybe? Stuck back on 3 base now. Serral, oh, he's doing it solar. He's doing the solar, guys. Serral's putting on his solar hat. Minsu Kang, I summon you. Serral right now, he's stepped out of the chair. He's hacked the camera. He's got solar at his house, guys. He's going to do the build I talked about that is meant to beat this, but the MARU's not playing battle mech. He's already got 2 tanks that'll be out. If he can get like 4 tanks out, can he defend this? He scans. He knows something's up. He's like, where's your 4th base? What's happening? Dude, if he just... Does he pull back to his natural? I don't know if he can defend even with like 4 siege tanks. Chat says MARU's going to hold these. I don't know. I never know how to read these, man. The problem is he doesn't have much buffer. But I guess if he can get like 8 Hellbats up to guard from Zerglings, he should be okay. Queens are here. There's like no Ravagers though. There's like 1 Ravager, 10 Zerglings. Serral's got 8 Queens though. He's going to drop the Queens maybe to take the first volley. He's going to drop. Here we go. He's going for it. There's only 2 Ravagers. So a lot of tanks in the Banshees can add some damage. The Queen's picking back up here. He doesn't want to lose the Queens. If he loses the Queens, then he will lose to the Banshees. Oh, there come the Ravagers. There's a Link drop in the main. Link drop in the main as well. Oh, the Minsu timing comes in. And I'm telling you, man, if Solar knows you're going mech, he doesn't let you get there. And Serral, he's let so many Terrans go mech recently, and he kept losing. He dropped games to Hero Marine, MARU. He's dropped a bunch of games to top pros playing mech, where he let them get to the later stages and then really struggled. This time he said, screw that, take a leaf out of Solar's book, let's just go. Really good attack. He's dropping creep outside, he's droning, building an Evo, a Roach Warren. He's rebuilding his 4th base now. And MARU, he's on 4 command centers. He had a really early 1-1, but like I said, double armory before any more factories is really greedy. Oh, the Hellbat's blocked it actually saved the tank there. But so many Zerglings, man. Serral going for a mass Ling Queen follow-up at this point, essentially, as most of his Ravagers have gone down. The tank refusing to die. The tank not dying. A few Lings get in the main. I think Serral's going to be like, how the hell did you survive that? What the hell? You're meant to die. This is one of those rare moments. This happens like, you guys know when you're so used to playing someone a certain level, so you just assume the game's over, because it always is against your normal ladder opponents, but you're playing someone so much higher level than your normal opponents. You kind of take your hands off the keyboard and mouse, you're just kind of clicking things, not really paying attention, and then it dawns on you like, wait, he's not quite dead? And you're like, I know I'm still miles ahead, but you kind of just like, oh, you're really good at this game, aren't you? That's the reaction Serral no doubt has now as he pivots into Nidus Swarmers. He's up 30 workers, but it's a 4 command center Terran. And there's one thing I hear whenever I'm in a situation like this commentating. And there's 2 comments in chat. And I like to annoy both of them. One of them is, but he's got mules. Basically, even on economy. And the other one is, stop hyping it up. The game's over, pig. And you know what? The mules don't matter. MARU's miles behind. But it's MARU, and he can win from down 30 workers against some washed-up Serral. He's going to destroy him. You guys think these Swarmers are going to work? His Banshees are going to find the first Nidus, shut it down, and it's going to be an easy hold. It's going to be an easy... No, he's in trouble. He doesn't know it's there, guys. He doesn't know it's there. This is scary. There's a Spire on the way to deal with Banshees as well. He's got a Bailey Nest, a second Evo Chamber, already preparing the next Night of Swarm. This one pops up here, and Maru's in Trubs right now, guys. He is in Trubs. That is a massive amount of Locust going to his economy and production. And he could actually throw a second wave a little bit behind just to kind of extend the damage so it's not just one concentrated window. Oh, he doesn't have an Overseer, which is a bit of a problem. Does need to bring an Overseer with this. Didn't throw the second wave, but he can always pop out there. Maru, good runaway, only loses 4 SCVs, minimal infrastructure damage. One factory barely survives. So no super dedicated damage. The Overseer's here, though. The Banshees are up on the high ground. The Queens are a bit too far away. Serral's going to have to just spread some creep from down here. Think about maybe throwing another wave from a bit further back as he goes to Hive Spire. +1 melee on the way as well. Yeah, it's really important, I think, for Serral to get Maru's respect. Because if Maru is just allowed a free pass to late game again, this series becomes worryingly difficult. It's so fascinating, though, because I thought with the advantage... Like, often, even when Serral plays disruptive builds, doesn't want to let his opponent to late game for free, he normally wipes them out. Or he gets far enough ahead and then wipes them out later off of the advantage. But in this case, because he lost off of the massive opening advantage in game 1, there's going to be more pressure on Serral than ever to actually go finish the game. He might have to play this series with a bit more of a Rainer mentality. Kill him before late game or die trying. And Serral is not going to be used to having that mentality. Normally, he is the big boss in the late game. Maru, the only player in the world who I think truly turns that story around on him. There's an argument for Classic in PvZ as well, but I think history tells us Serral normally comes out on top there. Hellbat's cleaning up that up really well. I think he only lost one unit there. Not bad. The supply's evening out. You got to get damage done, dude. I'm having shades of... do you guys remember Botanical? RSL. I think it was Season 3 of RSL. Shin versus Maru. I think I ended up titling that series Maru is Disgusting or something. It was just a picture of Maru with his finger over his lips. It was down 80 supply, maybe 90, maybe more. It was down so far against Shin, against this same sort of situation. Down with mech against Swarmhost Nidus, and he shut down the following Swarmhost Nidus really well. Good transfuse. Finally cleans up a Banshee. I like that Serral's sieging both sides. This is really smart. He says, oh, if all the Hellbat Cyclones in one area, then get me. But look how quick Maru is to evacuate. Dude, this is a masterclass in not letting the Locust do damage. And then the Hellbats clear it. He didn't micro it into the mineral line in the main. Serral messed up with his micro. Dude, Maru's gonna friggin' max if you don't watch out. What is this? Guys, I'm not surprised when Maru does this against the average Joe. I am surprised. If he wins this game against Serral, the rivalry is going to be completely flipped. One series was dominant, but if Maru wins this game, Serral's going to be cooked. Like mentally, he's going to be defeated already. He's got to win from this opening. Infestor's coming in. The Infestor's getting blasted by the tanks. The Locusts lead the charge. The Ravager Bane cannot break that position. And Maru's playing Infestor Viper Swarmhost. I think he's overcomplicating it, guys. I think there was so many simple strategies he could have overwhelmed Maru. I don't know what they are. He probably knows. But I feel like dual Spellcaster Swarmhost is the lowest tempo unit set in the game, isn't it? Ravager Baneling is good tempo. My point being, when you're ahead, you want to push the tempo, you want to keep your opponent down, you want to trade. I'd love to see him mine these minerals on this side. I know that sounds silly, but he needs new ways in. Maybe drop in the main as well. He's got to keep going. Aggressive. He's got 13 Swarmhosts. That's 39 supply that need to be used the moment they're off cooldown. Banshee's down the right side. Spores come up just in time to buy a bit of time here. They die very quickly, though. Oh, Fungal Baneling! Fungal Baneling on the Hellbat Cyclone. Nicely done there by Serral. Locusts come in from all sides. Biles are landing on top. The Thors take some damage, but you can't stand and fight. You got to just drop those Biles and move on. Queens do push back the Banshees. 1,000 resources, positive trading for Serral. So to be fair, even though Serral's letting Maru get to late game, he is out trading him. He should not be letting Maru get a planetary in that corner. That is a travesty if you let that get up. How do you deny it? You send Lings, the Banshees will defend it. Vipers. Oh, that's an easy snipe, but Maru was on move command. Nidus worms everywhere, man. That planetary is going to come up. The creep has now connected He hasn't filled out the edges. Serral's still focused on winning. He's got +1 air armor, +3 Locust, Blinding Cloud combo comes in. The Locusts do nothing. They just tank. That's all they did. He does snipe a few tanks. I mean, Serral's still being very efficient here. I'm just shocked that these Locusts aren't like landing on the workers and hold positioning and just killing a bunch of them or something. He's trying to break the army, but the Thors are gunning them down so fast. That 11 range on the Thors, absolutely crazy. Raven is out. Maru does always build a Raven these days, guys. He remembers Radhuset Station. I've seen the fans arguing about Radhuset Station. I saw it. There was so many people arguing about that in different threads in my Twitch chat. Everyone's arguing. They're like, I like forgot about that series. For those who don't know. Oh, hello. Very nicely done with the fungal there by Serral. Catches 3 Banshees. Radhuset Station, it was the finals where Serral and Maru played, and Serral caught him with the unburrowed fungal on the map like 36 times. It was just, and he never built a Raven. And it was actually one of the rare cases where just build a Raven is actually the correct response. Often it's not. In that game, it was absolutely necessary. The guys who I always make fun of for saying, just build a Raven, you guys were 100% correct in that scenario. You're normally wrong, but in that game, 100%. I mean, if you get hit by burrowed fungal ambushes 36 times in one game, you are correct. Maru hanging in there. He's got a 5th base up. He's surviving. He's maxed out. Serral is looking to try and find a way to shave down the greatest Terran of all time. There's not much army here. The army goes to the right side, which means this base will go down. Is Maru going all in on this push? He's going to go across the map. The Ravager Bane comes in. The Banshees clean up the Ravagers, though. And this army, guys, Serral has no army. Serral has 13 Swarm Hosts, 2 Banelings and 5 Ravagers. Great fungal bile Swarm Host wave, but he's got no actual units. He's building more Roaches. He needs a lot of Banelings to clear all the Hellbats. And he needs to stop these tanks getting sieged between his rally points. Maru, with a desperate, relatively all-in push here of 61 workers. He doesn't have mass command center, but he's got 3-3. He's up in upgrades. Swarmos are a low-tempo unit that need a lot of time. The Banshees are cleaning them up. There's no anti-air left. He's got nothing that shoots up. These Banshees are ruining Serral. He's trying to morph Ravagers on the front line. Serral's getting mauled. Maru is making the comeback of a lifetime right now. The Banshees are killing every single Swarmos. The Ravagers are going down. Serral is in so much trouble right now. Maru all over him. Banshees, some of them, oh, the Biles do take out the Banshees, but Serral cannot hold on. Maru is on another level today, and he brings it back and wins that game. The problem with this army is there is no army supply. There's nothing that fights in this army. You have 5 Infestors, you have 1 Viper, you have some Queens, you have 90 drones, you have so many things, but none of these actually fight the enemy army, and that is the real problem. You've got the Roaches and Ravagers very supply inefficient. The Swarmos very supply inefficient. The 5 Queens aren't real combat units. They're just to deal with the Banshees. And it's obviously hard to have an efficient army. The question is, guys, should he have had an Ultra Cavern available to build Ultras? Should he have had a Lurker Den available? What is the core unit that you want to actually stall out a push like this? Do you just have Hydras with better upgrades since they have more consistent damage than Ravagers and Roaches? It's hard to say. But just you know, you can think of this army is very fragile, and this similar situation happened last time they played, where it looked like he was doing good in the late game, and then he just got caught without the right army balance in the late game. And this is one of the most fragile styles he played: Ravager, Baneling, Swarmhost, Infestor, Viper. Like, this is one of the hardest styles to play because of this exact reason. GG, Maru is up 2-0 in amazing games. All right, guys, we got Serral on the bottom left side of the map. He's back on his map pick, but dude, he had that in the bag. Brilliant build for that map. Counted Maru's build perfectly. Brilliant. It was great. I think Swarmos is fine as well. People say, I don't like Swarmos, and I understand. I think he could have got him without going Swarmos. I agree with that. However, I feel like he could have just overwhelmed him sooner and faster. No worries. Got the scoreboard there. Yeah. So, oh man, this is crazy. Like, it feels like people saying, should he have done this? Should he have done that? What should he have done, Pig? What should he have done? I don't want to backseat too hard. He just needed to go harder, sooner, with more stuff. That's essentially it. MARU was screwed after that opening. Now, he did MARU things. He split his army perfectly. He minimized like 6 Locust waves in a row, which no one else was able to do that perfectly with almost no damage. There was the moment when the Locust split. I thought those Locusts were going to go up and land in the main base. I looked back, and all the Locusts were just dead on the ground, and there was a bunch of Hellbats standing there, which means Serral just threw them in, maybe didn't aim them correctly, and they got aggroed on the Hellbats on the production. They should have gone for the mineral line. So Serral, his Swarmos were not microed as well as they could have been. But more importantly, there was a moment where he was at 40-50 supply. He had so much map control, so much money. I mean, I think Broodlord timing could have worked if he just went fast Broodlords. That's one thing you can do to try to finish the game. It's a mech player who's barely alive. Like, his Thors came out pretty early because he knew there was threats. But, you know, that's one thing. Just go with your Roach Ravager Ling Bane is another option. I personally like Hydras because they have a bit more raw damage. So you can go in with the Hydra Bane Swarmhost or just Hydraling Bane bust and try to get through. I also really think either dropping the main a bit more if he's not going Swarmhosts, or open those minerals to get a new angle. But MARU just did... It doesn't matter how Serral played that. No one else is capable of doing what MARU just did. Serral did show characteristic Serral play, though, which is being cautious and trying to play the efficiency game. And he doesn't seem good enough to do that right now. I don't know how else to say it. It just doesn't feel like he's got the edge over MARU to play the patient, safe efficiency game. I think Serral needs to be maybe a little bit more Raynor-minded today. Just go get him. Just go get him. Don't let him play late game. Don't let him. You know, that's Raynor's mindset. He's like, Raynor's like, I ain't going near that late game with a 10-foot pole. And I think that's a great mindset. I love that mindset. I think it's smart. I think Maru's a beast there. Serral's beat him so many times in late game. But, crazy. Crazy. Maru's now in charge from down significantly 2 games in a row. Game 1, he was quite far behind. Game 2, miles behind. Many players would say dead. I was kind of joking casting. I wasn't even being that serious. I wasn't even being that serious for a while there because I was like, well, this game's kind of over. We'll just be a bit chill. Chat saying, what about the WWDD? So that's the advice we always give Raynor in ZvP is what would Dark do? You guys might be correct. That might be what Serral should be thinking right now. What would Dark do? I mean, that last game was what would Solar do, and it was a perfect opening. It's just then he swapped back to that kind of ultra-conservative Serral mode, but he was lacking a little bit of that classic Serral finesse that he needed to pull those styles off. I used to always say in the past, you'd watch the Terran getting to late game, and you'd watch Serral just sitting there and just building his own upgrades and bases and spreading creep and doing nothing. And I would always say, if this was any other Zerg, I'd be like, dude, you've got to go. You've got to go do damage. You don't have enough urgency. You're in a good spot. Just don't let the Terran get to late game. But then Serral would just patiently let it get to late game and then rip apart his opponent and dismantle them anyway. And I'd kind of have to eat my words and go, well, if you're this good, maybe that rule that applies to every other Zerg doesn't apply to you. Today, that rule doesn't apply to Serral either. Or that rule does apply to Serral, sorry. He does have to go. He can't just be letting them to late game. Quick lair, about 420. Not super quick, slightly quick. And mech again for MARU. Are we going to see Mutas versus mech? Shin almost took MARU down with Lingbane Muta into Mass Ultra. One of the coolest styles we've seen in a while. He was so close to breaking MARU on Enclave in the group stage. MARU did MARU things in the group stage as well. Two more factories coming out. Chad's saying no, it should be what would Harstem do. I don't know if a 5k Zerg player is the one to copy, guys. Harstem actually got pretty decent with his Zerg. It was so funny. He was so unnatural for such a while with Lambo coaching him. Aliens coming forward. Spire. It is Spire. Yeah, we're going to see Spire versus mech. I don't think Serral knows it's mech this time, though. The thing is, I feel like when MARU plays Banshees, recently he always plays mech. There's 2 Baneling nests, which tells us that Serral's maybe a little bit excited. The fact that he threw 2 of these down at once. Almost identical timings as well, guys. That's very odd, isn't it? What base is up so fast? You can play Mutiling Bane against mech. Shin made it look good, but I mean, that was clearly something he'd prepared. I wouldn't expect Serral to want to play that. And there's already tanks building, which shows it's a very traditional style of mech. Very safe. Let's go to Serral's camera, guys. Overseer's seeing the factories right now. Is he going to look at it? Yep. Okay, what's the change? Immediate 8 gas. Drops changelings. I think he'd like a 5th base. But do we see a Hydrodan or Roach Horn? I assume Roach Horn. That's what pros almost always go. The problem is that the Ravager costing 3 supply in the late game just feels so awkward, but Serral Raynor do tend to get good value out of those Ravagers. Otherwise, it's double Evo Infestation Pit, and you're going for Massling Bane into Hive. He doesn't have any upgrades just yet. Is he going to Mutiling Bane bust him? I guess he's waiting for the Mutas, then he'll go double Evo? Building lots of Ling Bane to defend the Heavy Hellions? We're on Serral's camera. MARU, gonna dance in with the Hellions. Careful, MARU! Dangerous moves! Okay, that's a one-way trip. That deep on creep is crazy work. Surprised Serral didn't surround that, though. Only loses 3 drones, now he surrounds it. Speed Banshee's gonna be very bad against Mutalisks. MARU thought about running away for a second there. I think, honestly, that is probably the right call. Muta's gonna shut this down hard. MARU still hasn't started the turret. He's just building the engineering bay now, so he knows what's happening. He's scanned. I think he saw the mutas with the scan. I'm not sure. But, I mean, he's got to know, right? He's building a Raven and a Cyclone? Dude, does MARU not realize the engineering bay is not done? The mutas are going to fly in. He's already lost so many Hellions this game for very little damage, but 3 Cyclones enough to scare Serral away. Serral very passive. Dark would have absolutely flown into the base there and got 6-7 SCVs at least. Serral turns around, goes home, builds a Roach Horn and Infestation Pit, and 1-1 upgrades. That's so passive. He's got 93 drones, but that was weak. I mean, it was, right? Am I being too harsh? I think that was a little lacking confidence for Serral. I mean, like I said, if you lose that last game, anyone's going to be mentally broken. This is a true test of Serral's doggedness. Okay, he's going to commit to the Mutiling Bane. I love this move. I thought if he went Roaches now, it'd be terrible. But he's just going to prepare the Roach switch for after the Ling Bane. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, MARU's just setting up the defense. His bases are pretty spread. MARU doesn't see these Banelings yet. They're going to come in at the last second, but there's no distraction. Can he pull the boys? He does. Great boy pull here for MARU. Banelings go down. Cyclone Hellion moves north. Mutas go to the right side. Hive started. Oh, watch out! I did not even see those Widow Mines. There's another one behind there. Hard to get rid of those. He doesn't get it with the bounce. Cyclones come over. Roaches coming in. Neuroparasite is... Okay, Serral's going to try and play this out in the late game. Now, it's going to be very different to the last game. Remember, yes, Mutas waste a lot of supply, but he'll trade these out much easier than Swarm Hosts. Swarm Hosts were, what, 39 supply at the end of that last game? And they weren't able to help. Also, keep in mind, Serral, he does have a few more queens he'll want to trade out at some point as well. But he's got a massive worker count, 92. If he can bank up a lot and then at some point tactically drop his worker count down to 70, he'll have a big enough army. And how the hell does MARU ever push on this map? It's Old Republic. Every base MARU takes is going to be way more spread out. Remember, last map, nightmare for late game Zerg. Awesome for late game Terran. And that would have played into Serral's mindset a little bit as well. Ooh, MARU doesn't cancel that command center. He's also gone very heavy on the Cyclones. How many Widow Mines? We got 9. I always feel like if you've got a good pack of Cyclones retreating through a field of Widow Mine Hellbat, Lingbane Muta struggles with it. But it all depends on how the engagement goes. How many safety tanks? Only 1 safety tank. It's 8 factories, 4 orbitals, 5th command center up top. You're just flying to the right side. Banshee's going to duck in on the inside. Is he going to just sack him? Yeah, don't go for creep. Go for something more important. He's looking for Ravagers. Serral just chucked a pig there. Accidentally blew up some Banelings on his own queen. He wanted to kill the queen because the queens are wasting supply. He wants to build an infestor. Detonating the Banelings was a mistake, though. Those are always a valuable unit. Oh! Cyclones get a very nice catch on those mutas. But now the Ravager morph happens. 8 Ravagers, Roaches, Lings, Infestors. Neuroparasite has been upgraded, but there's not many Infestors. It's basically going to be Lingbane Ravager against this army. It's so deep on creep. The queens are getting dealt with, though. The Banshee's doing very well in the middle. Those Banshees have been causing Serral too many problems. He still doesn't have any Overseers, guys. He's lost his Overseers, hasn't replaced him. That's a problem. He needs to defend this base. Can't be letting MARU bully him on this side. Serral goes forward. Good Widowmine spready, though. Watch out for those Widowmine spreads. Beautiful Banelings. You could see the way he split them a little bit to make sure the Widowmines didn't connect. Problem is, his Ravager count isn't all here just yet. Now they're coming in. Does need a big Ling and Baneling remax. Still a good Cyclone count. 3 Banshees come forward. Queens are there. The Overseer is ready. The Banshees do so much damage with the help of those Thors, though. MARU overwhelming here. What an absolute legend. MARU pushing across this map. I thought he was just going to turtle to late game off of this, but he said, let's get over there and do some damage. Serral will clean up the push and... Oh, actually, does he defend the base? There's only one queen here. She's going to keep it alive. And he'll push back the Raven. Serral survives, but at a 7,000 resource loss deficit. What is the late game army comp? I always wonder. Because you got Ravager, Ling, Bane, and you can dance and survive. But do Ultras ever become good? I feel like Cyclones wreck Ultras on the big open ground of this map. Then again, if you could land spells, maybe. If you could swap Ultras, do Ultras make sense pre-Ghost? You guys let me know in the comments. I have no idea. We've got a Lib range transition, it looks like, coming in. 2 Vipers, 6 Infestors on the way. Could just be Ling, Bane, Ravager, Micro, and really good spellcaster usage. Hatchery's in trouble. Cyclones come in. Lings get the surround. Serral will clean it up. Hellbats don't quite have +3 yet. They're about to. There we go. Lings pull back from the Hellbats. Surround the Thors. This is a bit of a half-baked push for MARU. These Banshees, man. I feel like Serral's, like, every time a fight starts going really well for him, these Banshees fly in and ruin his day. They're so hard to deal with. MARU looking ultra-focused right there, as is Serral. He snipes the hatchery. What will he lose for it? A fair few mech units. Serral's on 88 drones. He can afford losses. Not going to finish the game like that. MARU might not have confidence expanding too much, so he might want to just keep attacking in this game and hope that the fact that he's throwing everything at Serral on the front allows him to sneak a corner base. Serral Zerglings will see it come up, though. He's got Zerglings that can deny that planetary. For now. Gonna go for it. Oh, these Banshees. 10 kills on one, 14 on the other. 24 kill duo. Dude, I didn't even think it would be battle cruisers. Who the hell goes battle cruisers at this stage? Wow. Is that game winning or game losing? There's no Spire upgrades. It's going to be so hard for Serral to deal with. Because Serral doesn't even have bank anymore. He's already getting worn down by the battle mech. He's down 7,000. That BC switch is going to hit like a brick. Viper takes a lot of damage on the hatchery. Goes down to the Cyclone. The Ravagers come forward. Nice fungal on the Hellbat Cyclone. Good Biles landing across, but it is so much Terran on the dance floor. Everyone thought mech was not good for a long time. Of course, we were just waiting for the one guy, MARU, the king of late game, to come along and show us how to do it. Transfusers do save the hatchery. Clutch hold for Serral there. And he actually closes the unit's lost up to just a 6,000 difference. Lings can take out a command center. There's only 2 Banshees to help defend it. It's the same duo from earlier. Dude, Serral, even if he comes back and wins this series, he's going to wake up in the middle of the night tonight dreaming of these 2 friggin' Banshees. He's going to hear those rockets in his sleep. Who's lagging? MARU can't afford the Ghost transition, guys. If you're wondering why aren't the Ghosts coming in, 6 orbitals, 1 planetary. Is that me lagging? Who is it? Gratok just left. I don't know who's lagging, man. Might be someone else from that part of the world. 3 BCs fly across. They get spotted by a Zergling. Spire is coming in. He tries to build a Corruptor, but he doesn't have the supply. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Continue. Players want his little disruption as well, guys. They don't want this to affect things. BC's going down this right side. Serral does not have any bank left. He's only building 1 Corruptor. He's got to rely on your Parasite to deal with this. The BCs go for the YOLO. He doesn't even teleport to safety. He says, I want to get a bunch of damage. He's going to Yamato a few queens. 4 queens go down. Which does at least allow Serral to build more Corruptor. Sniper hatchery. And then he should escape before he can get caught by those Infestors. Brilliant move there for MARU. Bringing out the Battlecruiser late game. Even scans to clear the creep. Nicely done. Serral's mining was dipping below 3,000 minerals a minute. Not something he wants this early. Keep in mind, this base is so exposed, though. This base, also pretty exposed. So what Serral's going to want to do is try to hit the top left and then maybe the right side as well. Got Corruptors and Spellcasters here. Dude, these two Banshees are causing him nightmares, mate. Good Fungal. Catches a few of these units. Neuroparasite's going down. Ravages on the front. He's having to use Fungal to deal with the Banshees, though. Neural in the Thor is slick. The Corruptor needs to hit that Banshee, but without an Overseer. The Overseer did go down. That's a problem. BC's flying on the other side. He knows he's got Teleport ready in a few seconds, so Maru goes deep. He's going to try and pick off some Overlords, the Spore, maybe the Hatchery, and then teleport out at the last second. Look at this. Maru throwing the kitchen sink right now. He's playing YOLO Terran. Oh! Nathaniel somewhere out there finds himself suddenly feeling very aroused. He doesn't know why. He feels a strange disturbance in the Terran force, seeing these battle cruisers run around this map, these Cyclones dive in and snipe hatcheries. BC barely survives on red hit points. It is 1-3 BCs against +2 Corruptors, and the BCs actually win the fight. Serral desperately needs more Corruptors to take that fight. The Banshee finally goes down on the right side of the map. His command center does fall as well. Serral surviving in this game. I don't know how. He's down 9,000 in the resources. Remember, these bases could be hard to defend, but I feel like because Maru's throwing the kitchen sink at Serral, there's no way he even realizes. Like, he's just got to get a few lings in here. He's got to get a few lings in here. But, like, you know, into any of these bases that are undefended, you've got a guy swarming you with Cyclone, Alien, BC. How the hell are you ever going to do a run by against this? It's not really possible. Maru's happy to trade not crazy efficiently because it secures the map just by getting in Serral's face. Oh, he gets 2-3. 3 Infestors go down. 3 Infestors with a lot of energy. That took a lot of time to build up. That really hurt Serral. Bit of a blunder for Serral running those in. But Maru being a D-bag in the best way possible. He's going to go to 10 battle cruisers. I'm not sure if he should go any more than that. He's got 2-3 on the upgrades. Any more than that, he's going to build a 10th. Any more than that might be a bit vulnerable to Mass Corruptor. Planetary does get focused. Going to try and just fight this. Ravages are so fragile, man. Oh, they're so fragile. There's so much cost. 100 for each of them. You know what's funny about a Ravager? It's the same cost and the same tankiness as a Mutalisk. 120 hit points for both of them. These Ravagers getting overrun. The units lost have such value for Maru. The BCs are back in there. Gonna dive in, look for some tech and a base maybe. Corruptors are on the wrong side of the map. Serral can't keep up with it. He's at his wit's end. Maru is just playing out of his mind. Ungodly StarCraft. I don't think anyone expected Maru to wake up and play this style of StarCraft this well, but Maru's looking like a beast. All right, guys. Maru in the top right side of this map. We've adjusted his camera because as the series is going on, he's sat up straighter and straighter. It's like his confidence is growing and it's manifesting in how he's sitting in his chair. Serral on the bottom left side. He's having a hard time in this series. We'll see what he can do to bring it back, but it does feel like my expectations for this series was Maru favored, but Serral, if he comes out with sick openings, could take control and not give Maru a chance to get to that part of the game where he's the best, or gets there from such a negative position that it's a-okay. Oddly, Serral's got good openings, got good positions. Maru's found ways to win anyway, and I think Maru's, you know, he's waited until Esports World Cup got cancelled, guys, for StarCraft 2 and real-time strategy. He's like, you know, once they're focused on mobile Legends Bang Bang, that's when I'm going to turn on my superpowers and start smashing just everybody. Hero is obviously looking unstoppable. I do feel Hero's probably the scariest player in the bracket for Maru right now. I don't know if there's anyone, if Maru gets out of this series, that's scary. I mean, Reina as well, of course, is pretty scary for him, but I feel like Maru's kind of favored versus everyone. And against Hero, it's a bit of a toss-up where Hero on point, playing amazing, could definitely smash, but it could go either way. Command Center does go up there as well. Vanilla says, wondering why Serral's not doing more crazy multitasking. You know, force Maru's shoulder to work. Force him to show his skill. Don't let him into the late game so easy. I don't think that's a bad idea, actually. Hard to do under pressure, but like it, you know, changes to, you know, normally you play against the faction and what's good against Terran a bit, but it's not a bad idea. Oh, it's a copy pasta, is it? Nice. It's not a bad idea to try and stress your opponent's multitasking out. I actually agree with that copy pasta, guys. A little bit. It's not just that one other guy copy pasted it. Nice. Nice. Reactors on the way, factory. Looks like this will most likely, yeah, it's going to be a third command center build. He does like to build that on the natural. Reaper comes in. Sorry, we should be looking at that. what I don't understand is why Serral hasn't done any crazy multitasking. Good to see everyone spamming that now. Great copy paste. It's not even a particularly copy pasterable comment, but you know what? Anything becomes a meme. Orbital command center starts on the natural. Mech or bio, guys? Mech or bio? I think he's just going to play mech again. Serral looks very uncomfortable against mech. He could do the same Queen drop Ravager push, though. I think MARU, every game of this series, has rushed either engineering bays before second barracks or armories before second factory. The fact that Serral hasn't really been able to fully punish that, even though he did kind of with the build in game 2, is actually a bit wild. Yeah, he's going to swap over to Hellion Banshee again. And so far, every game he's gone Banshee, he's played mech. See if that holds true. I mean, it's you know what I'd be really mad at, guys, is if we go from Serral dumpstering MARU for a few years to MARU just dumpstering Serral for the next few years. And I'm like, can you guys ever meet in the middle and give us like really close back and forth 4-3s? Like your MARU Rainers are always really good. Your Serral Clems are always really close. They're like, no. Now it's MARU's turn for the next few years. No. It's not over yet, and I'm not going to count Serral out just yet. Double Engineering Bay does go down. Okay, so it is double eBay off of a Banshee. No cloak this time. Well, that comes up. Second barracks, third barracks goes down. It's a bit more in the realm of normalcy. It's not the insanely fast upgrades that we had back on Winter Madness. Remember, guys, on this map, the problem is these middle bases are near impossible to defend from Terran. Even when he's turtled on 5 base, he can deny those. These corners are very scary. Oh, a couple Zerglings run in. Good micro on the SCVs, but one of them goes down nonetheless. Banshee on the right side. Spore Crawler's not ready. Queens intercept the Hellions. What? Queen's a bit too grouped. He's going to lose 2 or 3 drones. 3, 4 drones. Nice targeting. The fact that he targeted that orange hit point drone in the middle of all of them, that's quite difficult to do. And they're all stacked up like that. Now, chat is surmising that doing the holdout challenge yesterday has messed with Serral's instincts a little bit. Practicing against you noobs on the ladder. For those who don't know, Serral spent 2 hours yesterday, maybe even slightly longer than that, playing against people of all skill levels, and their job was to hold out as long as they could against him. Some people have said that it can actually cause transitive AI decay. Sorry, not AI, IQ decay. Playing against that sort of opposition. Sometimes you drop to the level of the people you've been playing with, so might be the case. I'm not quite sure. Hatchery goes up here. +1 melee first for Serral. He does want to start Carapace. Hopefully he notices that he's missed that, because that's a really important upgrade with the 1-1 of MARU coming in so fast. MARU, look at the 4th timing. 6-minute 4th pace. Oh, my man. The funny thing is he goes 5 barracks really early, but now he has to stop building Marines for a little while so he could afford the command center. It's kind of funny. Carapace does finally start up. Of course, Serral is behind in that regard. Yeah, best time someone got was 12 minutes and 19 seconds, but they were a Grand Master. The most impressive was a silver gold player, 2.3k MMR, made it to, I think, 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Massing Spine Crawler on 1 base, and hit a hatchery as well. It's a good holdout challenge. It was very good fun. Gold 1, apparently. 2300 is gold 1? That doesn't sound correct. I know the leagues are always moving, but I don't know if that's right. Second factory coming in, 2-2. 5 command centers already. I mean, MARU is not going to be pushing Serral anytime soon. The fact that Serral's massing Ling Bane off 80, do you guys think he just stops droning now and goes on 1-1 upgrades? I mean, we haven't seen like a simple Ling Bane. I feel like they don't normally work at this level, but MARU's just not been building Marines consistently. When you go 5 command centers this early, you're very greedy. I just don't know if Serral knows that. He's going high, he's massing Ling Bane. Serral is on a lower work account. If he just waits for 1-1 and goes, I actually think he might just roll over MARU and win. That's 2 melee. On the way, 2-2, of course. Far ahead for MARU. MARU's still on just 23 Marines. Look at the production tab. MARU's got 8 barracks coming up, but almost no Marine production. But Serral's gone back to drones. He just doesn't see what we see. For him, this is all in the shadows. He doesn't know about the super fast 5th. Yeah, he saw it start building, but he never saw the 4th. So he thinks the 5th is the 4th. Oh, that's actually negative scouting. That's so unlucky for Serral, guys. He thinks that was the 4th base starting. Oh, that's bad for him. That's really bad for him. Because he doesn't know. He has no idea just how greedy MARU's been. That's going to give him a very false idea of where their economies are compared to each other. He's being crazy greedy and still able to push. Sorry, I'm doing the voice there, guys. In the guy in the Twitch chat saying that. Is this a push? Come on, man. It's a double drop 9 minutes into the game. It's pretty light harassment at 9 minutes. Calling this a push is a bit rich, isn't it? I know you guys who watch tournaments like to balance wine a lot. I haven't been calling you out too much, even though I've been seeing it on the second monitor. But let's take a breather, guys. Let's take a breather on the balance wine. MARU is clearly outplaying Serral today. Timing, Pig. Did I just curse him? Oh god, I'm sorry, MARU. Shouldn't have said that. Lingbane coming around. MARU's got a good tank in reserve, but his units are getting flanked. Beautiful surround here for Serral. Can he save some of these units? Not much space in the medevacs, but he does save a bunch of them. Serral, he's got a big Lingbane army. He's going to run forward. 5th base should be easy pickings, I think. The tanks are going to pick up, try to unload. He's got 1 tank north. That planetary will go down, of course. That's the 5th base falling, though. Is that enough damage for Serral? It's definitely good for him. He trades a few thousand resources worth, but at least he's limiting MARU's map presence right now as Adrenal Glands and 2-2 are about to come in. He was fighting with double negative upgrades. The lack of Marine counts are that. I think MARU's unstoppable at this point, though, guys. I think he's... Honestly, there's just nothing Serral can do in this series. I think Serral's super tilted and MARU's mega focused right now. Sorry, guys. I might be trying to use caster powers so that we get more games in this series. I'd love to see a few more games. I think the way it's gone so far, MARU deserves to win, of course, but I'm trying to curse him right now. Ling's going around the right side. Those Lings, I think wrap on the reinforcements could be good. Serral, he's had to give up that middle area, but he's kind of gone around the flanks a bit more anyway. Oh, I love the Ling drop on the right. I think he can dodge the sensor tower. 5th base is already there. Oh, the Changeling blocking the command center. Very nice for Serral. MARU's on 8 tanks, 15 Marauders, 30 Marines. Upgrades are now even. Ling drop is about to go in, but he paused for a little bit, giving MARU potentially time to react. MARU, though, doesn't have many units there. This Ling drop going to get on top of the production. Serral, he's going to try and drop maybe on top of the Marauders could be nice as well, so that you kind of surround the units if you drop on both sides. Yeah. So he does drop on both sides there, gets on top of the tanks and the Marauders. It's going to be a good trade. MARU, though, he's got a good position. Be nice to abduct those siege tanks. I do really hate that you can't... You probably would have used Blinding Cloud either way. Pro gamers prefer that spell. But, Serral's doing very well, man. He's hanging in here with MARU. Oh, these tank positions on this map are so good. MARU's played pretty well, man. These tanks are so annoying to clean up with Lingbane. 26 kills! 27 kills. That's Sergeant Chadhammer in the top of our screen, guys. MARU's immediately going to retake these positions. He's got non-stop double tank production, so losing a tank or two, he doesn't care as much. I wonder if Serral has to just avoid these pushes and counter-attack the left side more. I think Dark would just not be fighting MARU front on at all. And that might be what Serral needs to do here, because these tank lines are crazy. Good Ling drop on the 3rd, though. There's a planetary that came up. That might save his day, though. Lingbane rolling in the front. A couple of decent Blinding Clouds went down, but there's always more tanks behind it. Chadhammer up into the 36, now 43 kills. Lings are going to drop on top. Can they kill some of these siege tanks? Serral goes for a lovely Ling drop. He's going to find a few tanks in the production. Get on top of those Marauders as well. Slick plays here for Serral using Burrow. But I really feel that MARU's left side, if he pushes right, is always wide open. And likewise, if MARU's pushing left, his right side is wide open. I don't know about you guys, but if we go back to game 1, I think the secret to beating this style of MARU is you have to grab your whole army and just go the other side while defending with just a little bit of Lingbane to try and stall him out on that side. But most of your army, I think you've got to play the runaround game with him. You guys know how... I feel like that's... You're going to be like a proper Zerg player. Just refuse to fight. Oh my gosh. Marauder snipe almost. Dude, these tanks, 51 kills. I think that's Chadhammer. She's moved further forwards. she get... Oh, big queen snipes. Hatchery's dead. Beautiful snipe there for MARU. Does lose a full medevac. The Ultra not going to the high ground on his own, and even the tanks get to pick up and leave. That ledge is absolutely brutal. Beautiful play there for MARU. Units lost have 6,000 in his favor, closing on 7,000. Plus 3 carapace isn't quite there just yet. A handful of Ultra Bane struggling to defend. Remember, these middle bases are so hard to defend, and that's part of what Terran loves here, as well as those tank ledges that we just saw in action. The Marauders get surrounded. Oh my lord. Great fight for Serral. Remember, MARU's not out of the woods yet. He's up 3 games in this series, but he's got to defend an absolute horde of Zerg. 26 Marines, 11 Marauders, 4 Siege Tanks right now. That tank count much lower than it was earlier in this series. The SCVs do get taken down, as does that Siege Tank. Well worth turning those Lings around to take care of that. Top left base is morphing. MARU maintaining a 76 worker count. There is a Burrowed Zergling in the production. No Nidus Worms, I don't think, in this game. MARU is so good at dealing with the Niduses. But I wouldn't mind Serral continuing to Ling drop that main. I think those Ling drops have been excellent. I'd love to see Serral just keep Ling dropping that main. I think the Twitch chat comment's correct. Stress him out with the multitasking. Half your units attack up here, half your units attack here, while Ling dropping the main. It's so hard for Terran to deal with that, but it's very front-on focus here for Serral today. Like I said, that's always his style. Loves to beat you up front on and kind of assert dominance. Nice hatchery kill for MARU on the right. Serral's going to answer with a planetary snipe on the left. Quite a few SCVs here as well, and those are really not to be disregarded. 9 SCVs adds up every time you do that when you snipe a planetary. 20 worker lead for Serral. He's mining close to 4k minerals a minute. Wow, Serral's done a really good job. The fact that he's still mining that middle left base, if he could get this middle right base mined out, I think Serral probably wins this game. Who else? How are you not mentally defeated, Serral? How are you playing this good right now? I'm not saying he's going to win this game. I just feel like anyone else, their play would have slumped so hard at this point in the series that's gone this way. Except maybe Hero. Hero would be like smiling to himself, laughing, and playing the best StarCraft ever after F2ing his way to Doom 2 or 3 times in a row. But Hero is a special case. Hero is immune to tilting. I don't think it's possible to tilt Hero. He just loves playing the game too much. Serral loves winning, though. And he is more motivated to win than everybody else. See if he can find a way back into this series. He's going to go for a big timing. Beautiful setup for MARU, though. Beautiful defensive setup. The Ghosts and Bio trying to pull back. Does he have enough snipes to deal with these Ultras? The Bane's going after the Bio. The Marauders are tanking them. The snipes are brilliant. Good fungal does land, but I think that's a good hold for MARU. Even though his supply plummets a little bit, the Ultra does kill some SCVs. Units lost tab 5,000 in favor of MARU now. 5,500. Yeah, I'd like to see more multi-prong rather than front-on like that. Personally, I just think MARU, if he pegs your army and sees where you're coming from, he kind of expands backwards so nicely. Now, MARU's only got 6 orbitals, guys. He doesn't have bank. Serral does. The fact that despite losing middle hatcheries constantly, this hatchery got sniped twice as well. This hatchery got sniped twice. Like, he's lost a lot of hatcheries, man. 2 hatcheries have died. Mostly they were ones that were building that got cancelled. He's maintained such a crazy income. I say that. MARU must have just dropped mules, right? Yeah, MARU's dropped about 7 mules, which is why his income was above 4,000 for a second. Serral's the one with the bank. MARU's bases will mine out if he can't expand past this. Ooh, Serral's still playing a hypermobile style, which I love. It's just Ultraling Bane, 2 Infestors, 2 Vipers. But this middle area is a no-go zone. He cannot fight there. He distracts with his main army in the middle. He runs in from this side. The Banes are just going to do a boom boom and run away by the looks of it. Banelings will mostly get cleaned up. Comes in for the flank on this tank position. Cute angling for Serral. Ooh, does he keep chasing though? Those command centers look pretty good, man. Those command centers look pretty good. I don't think he can get in there. Good pullback timing here for Serral. He's going to try and clear some SCVs on this base. He turns and tries to ambush, but the snipes are delicious. And the Ultra's staying a bit too long. 17 workers. Great damage here for Serral. Amazing damage. 8,000 resources lost in favor of MARU, but MARU will eventually mine out. It's this base in the top left. If MARU secures this and gets this middle base back up, that's where the game runs away for Serral. Because Serral's obviously mining his bases out at a faster rate. But he's got Niduses to transfer drones. He's playing really good StarCraft. Oh. Chat says, congrats, Serral, on winning 4-3. Shout out to that guy for believing. How much money you got riding on this match, bro? He's like, I believe. If he does it, that would be an epic comeback, man. I'm cheering for him to take it to Game 7. I'd love him to take it to Game 7. Even winning this game and the next would be a superhuman effort with how MARU's playing today. Winning 4 in a row right now would be sick. I would be totally happy for us to go to Game 7. Hero and Solar to wait 5 hours to play their series next. And me to not get to sleep until 10 a.m. I'm happy for this to be a schedule ruiner. What can I say? Big attack. The Bio's out of position. He never broke these rocks. The army can't get there. The Corruptors clean up all the libs. Beautiful engagement for Serral. Yeah, obviously it stalls out on the top of the ramp. That command center lift was brilliant for MARU. That command center, but should MARU take these rocks? I mean, I understand the rocks help you because it's an obstruction. Maybe it was just a mistake moving so much of his bio to the top left because he was trying to defend this base. Serral immediately rotates with just a handful of units. Ultras and Banes are good at killing planetaries, man. He's got faith. The Banelings move behind to stop the repair. Oh, he gets it. He gets it. That was a brilliant play. Yes, he loses a lot of units, but I mean, MARU just lost a ton. What's MARU got? 9. When did he get to 9 orbitals? He just lost like 4 commands. He's lost 5 planetaries. The lift on that 1 orbital was crazy. But MARU, how are you still on 9 orbitals? Dude. I mean, MARU's got an infinite money glitch. I don't know. I mean, I guess he's been fighting for a 6th base up here. It's a 5-base Terran has a lot of cash, man. And he is traded 10,000 resources better. Serral's got him on the ropes right now. MARU's just trying to survive and hope Serral gets exhausted. He's like, look, Serral's swinging really hard. I know he can't keep this pace up long term. I've just got to hang in here. Mass Baneling on the left side. They need to chase those ghosts, but there's a lot of tanks. He does land a decent fungal. Those Banelings not very efficient. Good spready for MARU, but Serral does hold onto the base for now. And I think that's what really matters. A few Lings get in the middle, which is massive. Zergling drags a Widowmine in for the friendly fire. These guys will burrow, force a little bit of a scanny scan. The fact that Serral's maintained this right side base, he's already mined out most of the left, or more than half. Right, if he maintains the right for another 2 minutes, like that hold, as bad as the Baneling trade was, I think it's a very good trade to keep the base alive. Because now MARU's like, oh, I gotta get the top left, I gotta focus my army here. MARU just doesn't have the numbers to hang on, and White Rabbit, another map that Zergs really do not want to play late game on. And Serral's like, dude, I love this map. Look at how much space there is for Ling Bane to run around. This is great. But MARU's still got a win con, guys. As bad as this looks, like Serral's grinding him down, if MARU can avoid losing too much army, he's going to have a hyper max. If he can max out with like 40 workers, he's going to have such a big army, he might be able to win the game with it. Corruptors are going to clean the libs, though. Lingbane Ultra rolling through. Lots of SCVs going down. A few tanks falling as well. And Serral continues forwards. The snipes are big, though. I think that was a great trade. Look at that. He's closing the gap. No, he's not. He's fallen a further 2,000 behind his Serral. He's gone from 10,000 to 12,000 behind over the last 2 minutes. I think it's worth it when you're killing command centers and SCVs. More Lingbane Corruptor coming in. And these medevacs are very exposed. If he can overwhelm, Fungal could be everything here. Oh, good spready on the Zergling against the Widowmine. Fungal! Oh, he misses the Fungal on the Ghost. MARU too quick to pull away. The tanks were all unsieged on that left side, though. The Ghosts are hammering, but the Banes are on top. There's too many Lings on the dance floor. The Lings did pause their advance momentarily. The Banelings all go down, but that was a cleanup. All the tanks went down. Guys, everybody in chat and comments, guess how many siege tanks have died in this game? Right now, put your number in the chat. It's got to be so many. I'm about to check. There's only 3 out right now. I feel like he's been building 2 tanks all game long. There's a lot of guesses out there. 29, 24, 18, 50. I'm going to guess 41, 42, the meaning of life. 34. It was 34 so far. Now, to be fair, it might be more, actually. Oh, because a lot of them might have died to siege tank friendly fire. So it might be a little bit higher. I'd say 34 is the number that says we'll have to go with that, but it might be a little bit higher than that. Whoever guessed 34, you're a genius. I think Prometheum was the first person to guess it. Streamer Prometheum. Thank you very much, Prometheum. Rated us right when we started the stream. Good game sense. Lingbane Ultra Corruptors here. Serral's actually turning this this game into a really good position, but the space is mining. There are fresh mules there. I think this right side might be the vulnerable area. But Serral wants to fight front on. That's what Serral does best. What do you guys think, guys? Should he fight the army? Or should he go around? I don't know. MARU's dancing here. A lot of Widow Mines do get picked off. Oh, Serral's so good at defusing, but MARU retargets! You gotta be, yeah, you can't assume a MARU or Clem level player is not gonna retarget the Widow Mine. It wasn't too bad though for Serral. Oh, there's a tank on the right. Gets an Infester. Split that on the Zergs. The planetary here with the tank on the high ground makes it hard, but I do think Serral should keep hitting this angle towards the production. Oh, that was a massive smear! These Widow Mines stressing Serral out. Remember what I said about a Hypermax, guys? If MARU just survives, even though his worker count keeps going down, he's going to have a giant army when he gets to max supply. If he gets... So Serral needs to either keep trading right now as fast as possible. Oh, Fungal on some Marauders. Good engage. Oh, he's trying to drag the Widow Mines away. The Overseer does drag the Widow Mine into the Banelings. Or he's got to split his army and fight where the army is not. I think MARU, he's still got a scary army. Serral probably wants to give this base up now, and I think fight elsewhere. Because of the army supply, he's got too many workers, does Serral. So Serral needs to not take bad fights into this. When he does engage, he needs units wrapping around. Those ghost snipes will be brutal across the ledge there. Beautiful. Look at MARU's setup, man. Oh, cheeky Fungal boy. Lings do go in for the counter. Serral goes for it. Can he get a Fungal on these ghosts? Can he? There's a tank behind him. He'll get one shot. He unburrows. The tank takes him out. Not able to flank the ghosts. MARU does lose a bunch of units, but those... Oh, and the Ultras get back to the high ground. No snipe there. Excellent damage for Serral, but... You know what? What's important is he kept the supply low there. You see, he's reset MARU's army supply. Serral's bank is almost gone, though. And this base is everything for MARU. This base and this base in the middle. But continuing to force MARU to drop mules, build SCVs is big. I kind of feel like Serral has to bust the right side, though. Like I said, if next time MARU pushes here, bust through, break the planetary, break the tank, and then you can bust that side next time. At the same time, you can run Lings in here. Maybe run some Lings in there. But I think Serral might have to play the cheeky boy. Because he's got himself in a dominant economic position, it feels like. But MARU's going to force the fight now. It's going to be a head-on collision to decide this game. This base is everything for Serral. MARU pushing down the right side of the map. The Corruptors have got good value this game. They've killed a lot of libs and medevacs. 14 medevacs, a bunch of libs. Here comes the bio army. There's only 2 medevacs on this map. Guys, there's only 2 medevacs. MARU cannot afford to stim. His army does not have a lot of healing. He is broke right now. And he knows he can't let Serral hold onto this base. Serral, he's got to split his army to come from the left as well, right? If he comes from both sides... I think he can do it. He's going to go from both sides. He splits a Zergling against the Widow Mine. And Serral gives up the base. Genius call or bad decision? I honestly think it was a pretty good call if he wasn't ready for the fight. I think if you're not ready for a fight, you should always back off, give up the base. That being said, that might have been a game-winning opportunity because MARU... The problem is MARU's army supply. So his army didn't look that big because it's so much Marine Marauder with so little healing. I don't know. There's a lot of Widow Mines. There's 22 Widow Mines on this map. Oh, man. I don't even know, dude. This is so crazy. MARU's got a sick max. His army, he's not maxed, but he's got a massive army supply anyway. He's going to snipe the hatchery. MARU, if he gets a 4-0 in this game, where I really thought Serral's had him on the ropes for so long, but Serral's running out of resources to mine. If there's 1 or 2 more bases, I think he does really well. But without it, he clears a few Widow Mines. Does break the snipes. There was no scan there. MARU's got to be a bit quicker on those scans so that his snipes don't lose vision. Trying to run past here is Serral. Will find himself a siege tank. This tank up here is a problem. 55 kills on that tank. The Lings finally get on top of it, which is a really big move. Right side base. These drones are getting caught long distance mining. Serral's got to run those boys away. Got to be careful. Widow Mines even firing on them. Look at that. Ling's doing well. An Overseer in this top left would be great for clearing up the Widow Mines also. Bottom right side, Fungal does land on some of these units, but Serral not willing to commit any more than that. 19 SCVs for MARU, but with so many orbitals, he really mostly needs the SCVs for gas mining. Couple Vikings being built. Broodlords have been made now by Serral. He's going to look for efficiency with these Broodlords. We really need to see an Overseer on his Broodlord control group is what Lambo was saying in between games. I was saying follow command it. He was saying if you do that, it doesn't get vision. You still need to contaminate to oversight it so it gets vision. But you've got to have an Overseer with the Broodlords at all times. He's clearing up the Widow Mines really efficiently. And there's not many resources left to mine. Losing drones is not that big of a deal. Losing a hatchery, not that big of a deal. You don't have a massive bank anyway. This army's not really tailor-made for dealing with broods. Oh! The Widow Mines get some decent shots, though. Serral thought about dodging us. There's so many Widow Mines. Broodlords are slowly making their way over. Serral thinking about engaging, but so hard to fight into that. 18,000 resource lost advantage in MARU's favor. Not many units that shoot up in this game. Fungal's coming in. Broodlords get some good shots. Where's the anti-air? It's the Queens. Fungal's not going to be enough to catch that full medevac, I don't think. He's trying to kill the Vikings with the Fungal, which would be worth. He misses it. Oh, no, he gets one more. Watch out for the Ghosts, though. Couple of snipes do land. How many Broodlords just died? Two? Two Broodlords. Good snipes there for MARU across the ledge. New hatchery goes up on the right side. MARU's going to push over there and try to deal with it. Broodlord, Queen moving in that direction. If Serral could get a full wraparound in this army, Ultraling Bane could deal with it. But right now, the problem is the numbers. He's only got 7 Ultras, 18 Banes. Normally sounds like a lot. In this scenario, I don't know if it is. Ghosts are coming forward. Watch out! MARU looking for some snipey snipes. The Vikings do go down. Queen's being used well by MARU. MARU wants to finish this hatchery and this game. He wants to force Serral into a bad fight. Mass Marauder, Ghost, Widowmine, Marine. Only a handful of Broodlords to work on this. Serral will let the hatchery die. He knows he has to take the correct engagement. Good Fungal. Can he get those Marauders? Every Marauder snipe is so crucial because the map is mining out. Overseer's there. EMP lands, but it was an Infestor who also lands a Fungal. The Ghost does go down. Not the best Ghost micro on that one. Remember, one good EMP on all those Infestors, and then the Ghosts just cloak, run forward, snipe the Broodlords, and you are in trouble. Serral long distance mining. Only 1 mineral patch on the left. He's got 50 minerals there as well. And he's got about 500 minerals in the middle. MARU's got also 1,200 minerals, and that's it. MARU's got 1,200 minerals and nothing else. And these Infested Broodlords are being used very well. He's making a siege tank right now. MARU's trying to use siege tanks to outrange the Infestors. And yet they're very weak to Broodlords. This is crazy. MARU. 18,000 resources more efficient. He gets a Broodlord. Sloppy. That was a Broodlord that was rallying in from far away. The Ghosts come forward. The Lingbane Ultra needs to run forward in this scenario. You got to actually, I think, threaten the Ghosts a little bit more with something that could kill them. The Infestors go forward in a clump. An uncharacteristic blunder. And that means Lingbane are going to have to act as the anti-Ghost. He needs to bring the Lingbane Ultra forward, does Serral. They're a bit too far in the reserve. The Lingbane needs to come further forward. He needs to support his Broodlords. Otherwise, those Ghosts are going to be able to land the spells. He does bring another fresh Infestor, lands a Fungal. But the Broodlords are going down. He's got to go for it with the ground army. Another Fungal does land. The Lingbane Ultra coming around the corner. Can he land on it? Oh! I feel like if units flank from the side, they could have done well, but there's 3 Widowmines over there, which is the problem. Those 3 Widowmines, I think, scared Serral away from the flank. He's playing very front on. Serral wearing this push down. Right now, Serral has a 40 army supply advantage. He doesn't want his Ultras to get sniped. That's the thing he's afraid of. That's why he's trying to protect his Ultras at all costs, which is very smart. I would have thrown my Ultras away because I'm a dum-dum. Serral is a smart boy with a big brain. And there's a reason he's got 3 world championships and an absolutely insane legacy. MARU here, though, is making him work for it. I hope MARU's shoulder's holding up well. Like I said, last minerals here for MARU. 800 minerals there, nothing else. He's got to do it with this army. 18,000 resources lost. They're trading evenly. But... oh, the Fungal! It catches him. Only 1 snipe gets off. Fungal gets chained. Where is the Lingbane Ultra? He lands 3 Fungals. Number 4 Fungals. The Banelings roll in. Serral is going to take a map off MARU here in Game 4. Anybody else would have been mentally defeated at the end of Game 1. Definitely after Game 2. Serral digs in his heels. And he starts to friggin' have... honestly, this is one of those battles, man. This is that terrible mission from the campaign where, like, Kerrigan and Neruda are having a laser battle for, like, 15 minutes or whatever the hell's going on. And then he was about to get pushed into the friggin' pit, and Serral just planted his feet down. He went, and he just blasted a goddamn giant energy beam back. And now he's not quite on the edge of the cliff. He's still losing this series pretty bad, but he's alive. All right, guys. Serral on the top left side of the map. Can he defend the proxy barracks? I called it before the game started. And of course he's doing it because he did it last time. He's doing it again. This is how he eliminated Serral on this map. I called it. But is Serral focused enough to remember? And has he practiced his response? Because he botched his defense against the proxy 3 barracks. I was saying just before the game started to the live audience, in between the games, I talked to Rainer about it because I thought Serral botched his follow-up. And Rainer said, no, it doesn't matter. His early defense was so bad that, like, he lost 5 drones in the initial drone pull against the Marines. He couldn't win from there. It was game over. He had to just micro better with the drones, a bit faster. Difference, this is a 2 barracks, not a 3 barracks. Last time it was a 3 barracks, much more committed version. This time it's only a 2 barracks. Serral has gone pool first, which means he is 100% safe against dying. Problem is if he doesn't realize it's coming, because they're quite well hidden, is there a way MARU gets a bunker up and still cancels the hatchery? Because if you kill the hatchery off of the 2 barracks, you get a quick gas behind it, you get the 17 gas. I think it's still a pretty good spot for Terran, right? Obviously, I mean, it's a weird one. Obviously, with the 3 barracks, you can lose your expansion and be fine. It's building 6 lings, though. Oh, the fact that he's going for a 6-ling opening, really good for Serral here. I think he's read that there's a good chance this would happen. And this is not crazy pattern recognition, like, wow, Pig's a wizard, he called this. I think Serral expected the exact same thing as a possibility. He doesn't know it's happening, though. But he's going to see it just as his lings come out. And look at this, MARU has no idea. So he's going to place bunkers, and these lings can wrap around from behind. And that means there's no escape for that Marine. Oh, yes, there is. Apparently, MARU has been getting that baby lotion. Damn, dude. How much baby oil you got? What the hell? Greased up Marine gets out of there. Dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Two lings already go down. Yes, he cancels the bunker. But he's building a spine. Serral's in trouble. Serral, he's got a queen down already, though. That queen is so early. She helps out a lot here. But the Marine count grows. This is very tight. If he gets rid of the SCVs, this push is much easier for Serral to deal with. He's going to have to pull drones. But he's only pulled like 6. He's trying to deal with the SCV, but he hasn't targeted it. Okay, 1 SCV goes down. If he can get the other SCV, he's fine. He gets it. He gets both SCVs, and he moves the spine down. Oh, my lord. I thought he was screwed. I thought MARU had this. If that bunker got up, I think Serral's in huge trouble. But now, MARU, he knows he can't overwhelm the spine. It has 2 armor. It's way too tanky. The queens have been injecting. Serral's back to droning. He's going to try and run his Zerglings out, but ooh, MARU punishes him. Good control by MARU. MARU's got a factory. Command center on the low ground. I'm looking at his face right now. Wow. I didn't realize, guys, they just updated the meme image of the Chad. Didn't realize he was a Korean Terran greatest player of all time. What a friggin' beast. Floats the barracks over, gets the Overlord, builds the command center on the location like a Chad. Gets another Overlord. Oh. I saw the way Serral blinked then. That was not a happy blink. That was, I can't believe I just lost 2 Overlords. That's bad. Serral could have been in a much better position. He's making ling speed, but he doesn't have a 3rd hatch. He's not droning just yet. And that's a pretty quick factory with a reactor. Lings. Not in big enough numbers to beat that ball of Marines. 7 Marines. You got to realize the breakpoints, guys. 35 hit points for a Zergling. Marine does 6 damage. It takes 6 Marines to one-shot a Zergling. So once you have 7, you can start a step away, and every time they turn and shoot, they'll one-shot a Zergling. You can't chase that with slow Zerglings. You need a full surround. I think the finish is coming out right now. You can see Serral talking to himself. Perhaps some finish words of choice. I think he knows this should have been a bigger lead for him. I still think he's in a good spot. That command center is earlier than the 3rd hatchery, though. I don't know. I don't know how to judge these games. I'm admittedly, this is one of my areas where theoretically, even with all the info, I'm very weak at judging until like a minute later in the game when I can see what's happening. Hellion drops a cute follow-up for MARU, especially with the limited Overlord coverage. Serral's map vision's a bit smaller, so he might be able to sneak that in the main base or something. Yeah, those 2 Overlord kills that early in the game are absolutely massive. Not to be ignored. Ling see the medevac coming. I think Serral knows about it with Ling speed and 3 queens, all on control group. He should be fine. He's going to go single Evo for an early carapace. And MARU, he's got those 2 barracks at home. Usually you want to play bio because you've already got 2 barracks here. And a good pack of Marines that will benefit from upgrades later. He lets him in. Oh, he lets him in way too deep, though. Serral, is that a bait? Masterful bait or huge mistake? Masterful bait or huge mistake? I'd say a little bit of both. I mean, it's cool to completely shut down the drop, right? 7 drones is not what MARU wanted, but I also kind of feel like he didn't need to lose 7 drones for that. It felt like he knew what was coming. And I think if half of his lings were up here, he shuts that down and doesn't lose many. It's still good for Serral, but a slight execution... What do you call that? Misses the most efficient version of what he was going to do. And MARU swaps mech. He's like, okay, all right. I don't think I can play bio after that. He drops 4 gas, drops double armor. I don't know if he was planning to do this. Kind of feels like he wasn't. But he's definitely now like, all right, we turtling, boy. We turtle into late game. Good defense by Serral of the Lib. Whew. I wonder what is going through Serral's head. I think at this point you just have to let the flow take over. And I think whenever I've been in a frustrating situation like this, it's either I'm constantly, oh man, I'm thinking about everything that's gone wrong, or you just have to find to let go and basically fuel all of your anger and rage at all the mistakes you've made into the engine. Just imagine you're in one of those old school steam engines and you're like shoveling the coal in, but in the coal is two overlords. You know, Serral basically right now, he's thinking to himself and he's going, really? 2 overlords when you've card counted them with pool first? And then he's going back in his head and he's like, wait, I need more fuel. I gotta play the best of my life. And he's just shoveling it in. He's like, literally killed 50 of his workers in game 2 on 10,000 feet. Ruined him with a Queen Ravager push and then literally somehow let him win with a mech push. Oh my god, idiot. You know, like, and for those who don't know, Serral truly is like one of the angrier best gamers. Like, Hero kind of smiles and just is like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Oh, whoops. Oh, I can't believe I screwed that up. But Serral is like, I can't believe I screwed that up. I will never make that mistake again. That is, like, Serral is an anger is his motivational fuel. And he's very scary when he gets focused and angry. And I think he's pretty mad right now. He's massing units on 63 workers. He'd love to surround these units, but oh, the Zerglings get spotted by the Lib. That's actually huge for MARU. And this is enough Ling Bane to surround the Hellions. He could surround these Hellions. I actually think he should just go for it. The Lib comes in, does get shot down. Serral here going roach speed, +1 range. He's going to start to drone that 4th. I'd love to see Serral take a 5th up north as well. Looks like he's sending a drone out there in the near future. Blue Flames on the way. 5 factory. 1-1 almost done for Terran, so the upgrades are ahead. Serral knows exactly what he's up against. He does start an infestation pit. I think that'll be for infestors. I don't think he's going to be using Swarmos much more today with how well MARU handled that back on 10,000 feet. Good links around. Honestly, I'm shocked that MARU was still going so deep when he'd already seen like 70 active Zerglings on the map. MARU goes really deep again. You got to really respect when a Zerg overbuilds things like this. You've got to really respect it. MARU throwing a few too many aliens away gives Serral a bit of map control. Interestingly, it's a very battle mechy style, so I think MARU's whole style is predicated on him bullying Serral. But I really thought when he pivoted mech, he'd be playing more of like a tank-style turtle macro. And now that he's given up those Hellions, I think we'll see tank production soon. I don't think he can stay on Cyclone Hellion. Did he peg his army? That's not the word I would use. I maybe penetrated. And when I say penetrated, I think, do you guys remember Fear? One of my favorite guns from any game was the Penetrator in that game, where you could shoot that big metal rod through the enemies and it would like pin them to the wall. That's what you want to do against Cyclone Hellion. You want to penetrate them up against the wall. Okay, that sounded really weird. I didn't even mean it to be that great. I was trying to make a dumb joke. It wasn't meant to come out like that. Jeez, pig. Hatchery got killed, not cancelled. Roach Baneling getting annihilated, but here comes the Penetrator. The Lings come in from behind, and that is exactly what you want to do. No escape for those Cyclones. Oh, wait, yes, they are. They break through. Not actually the trade Serral was necessarily looking for, man. That was a little bit nasty. Hive Spire coming in. Neural Parasite as well. Extra command center building. That's a 5th base. You know, I feel like Serral, his trading's not bad. It's positive. But I feel like after the early first 2 surrounds, he was a bit further ahead than that. He's got 90 workers. Oh, is he going to go early broods? I've been saying, I think like an early section of broods, so when the Terran first swaps to tanks, you just get him with like 6 to 8 broods, could be massive. But MARU's not even going to swap to tanks. He's just playing pure Cyclone Alien Battle Mech. The Roach is coming in from behind this time. Dude, he's been so good at flanking. This whole game, MARU's just constantly got Lings or Roaches coming from behind the bush. Serral's realized a Roach in the bush is worth 2 in the hand. That's a old saying, guys. That's definitely how it goes. Baneling's in the south. I like the way Serral, if Serral can keep him off a 5th base, keep rolling in, maybe blow this wall up with Banes, get in the mineral line, that could be legendary. +3 weapons is on the way. +2 vehicle weapons just finished. Hellion run by could be juicy. Banes are going to roll in. Oh my god, the SCV transfer goes right past. And the bunker with Marines kills them all. What the hell? How did MARU just slipped that. That was insane. His Hellions don't get any damage, but Maru's SCV transfer goes by on the left. His other SCVs pull away on the right. He only loses 7 workers. 4 unupgraded Marines in a bunker do so much, and then Serral on the right side finally finds the damage he was looking for the whole time. The Liberator comes in. Biles will take care of it. Serral's been pretty good on his control this game. He's been playing with a lead this game. Maru's hard swapping tanks. Serral does have the Spire in the Hive. If he makes Greater Spire right now and makes Broodlords, it's a kill blow. And that's what we were saying he might have been missing on 10,000 feet. It's just something to kill the Terran. Anytime before Thors come out, you rock up with some Broods. Terran's going to be in trouble. Right now, Serral's been very busy on his multitasking, and he's doing so well with Lingbane Ravager. I think multi-prong's where it's at. Even just canceling this could be really good. Maru's got to stay focused. Ravager, Bane rolling over the top. Oh, that's a really good fight. It's so hard. Maru's just playing. He's not got the material, man. After losing the early Hellion Cyclones, he's always been playing from behind, but after losing all those SCVs as well. Okay, Lings on the north do get cleaned up by the Hellions, but on the south side, his command center has to lift. Another 15 workers going down. The Cyclone Hellion trying to scramble. I don't think he has the numbers, and Serral's remembered the Greater Spire. Serral here, I think with a good build order, we could be a little critical of Maru. Doing the same build, 2 big series in a row on the same map against Serral, I think is a little bit predictable. And the thing is, you get exhausted, and sometimes you just default to your favorite build on a certain map. But that was way too predictable, and it's why Serral's having a smoother game here. Because even though Maru's made some good moves, he's fighting such an uphill battle. I don't think his, if you don't know as much about StarCraft, you might be looking at this and thinking, oh, you know, Maru's slipping, he's not playing as well, but he's still playing very well. It's just he's miles ahead. Hellions driving in, Spinecrawler's up there, big Neuroparasite engagement here. The Lings and Banes roll in, the third orbital is there. Both sides losing a lot of workers, but Serral's got a massive engage. Cyclones on the south will defend. Hellions roasting. Queens are going to try to deal with it, but they don't do a massive amount of damage. We are going to see that tank as well. Did I just hear White Ra? A White Ra voice effect or something? I don't know. Maybe I heard one of the players' voice packs or something like that. The Hellions do get surrounded there. We've got the Roaches and the Ravagers hanging out. Cyclone Hellion in the bottom left side of the map. It's turning into a scrap fest, but Serral's got Bank, and Maru does not have a lot of mining on just 3 bases. Cyclone's getting surrounded. Maru can't afford to replenish these. His 3-3 is almost there, but so are the attack upgrades for Serral. Lacking anything except +1 armor. But of course, armor doesn't do much to a siege tank doing 40 to 70 damage to your face. He's going to go for it, and I think decisiveness is a good idea. I would have loved to see him buy all that command center. I actually wouldn't have minded him just YOLOing there, even though the command centers were blocking so well, just because I feel like just get him, you know? But he's got Corruptors on the way. I don't think Maru can afford Thors. Even if Maru's Spidey senses tingling, he's like, oh, I've got to counter the Broods. Dude, by the way, how the hell does Maru have 2 Ghosts right now? I did see him build the Ghost Academy earlier. He's also accidentally built a Reaper, but the fact that he's managing to drip feed Ghosts, and how's he got 73 workers? He's lost 60 workers. He's still at 73. Maru, his macro, otherworldly. Hydroden's on the way for Serral. I think that's just, he wants to get Lurkers, because remember that push that killed him on 10,000 feet? If you just have a pack of Lurkers, Terran can't shove through you. They're not going to break a mech player, but they will stop a mech player from killing you. And I think that's what's in the back of Serral's mind right now is don't die later on to some sort of weird Thor Hellbat tank shove, you know? Just have Lurker tech available at some point down the line. Broodlords are on the way, and there are 3 Ghosts to counter them, guys. One Thor starts. I think he realizes what's happening because he sees the Infestors, but Maru does not have the money. Broods are going to go south. Hatchery does get killed. Serral missing a few hatch cancels, but honestly, that's small fry compared to everything else going on in this game. Queens are going to pull back. Ravager, Lingbane, Infestor going south to support the Broodlords. Missile turret gets a few shots off, does go down. Tank will fall. If he holds against this, Maru is a wizard. I think the only way is if he stacks 3 Hellbats on top of each other and then throws the top one at the Broodlords and it like holds onto its wings and then just like detonates its own fuel tank. I think basically like you need like 90s action movie kind of ways of doing, like you need to ride a motorbike into a helicopter. Rainer says he has Thors. He has Thor, to be correct. Thor's here. Thor is also here. Hatchery's up here. Serral should have pushed. He might be missing his timing. Serral's not trading right now. He has massive bank. He doesn't know, of course, what we know, but he is missing his timing. It's easy to do that when you don't have full vision. Now there's 3 Thors. It's kind of scary. The Vikings. Oh, I love the Viking stack for the Biles. Oh, massive EMP! MARU comes out with a big boy EMP. The Broodlords are on move command. Serral botching his micro in the heat of the moment, and then he pulls the trigger. A half-baked engage for the Finnish Phenom. Serral just crapped the bed. He moved his infestors up in a clump, got them all EMP'd, and then he moved commanded his broods as well. I know what happened. His hotkeys got messed up. I've done that 1,000 times. Every top-level player knows what that is. Serral does not make that mistake unless he fat-fingered some of his units onto a different control group, and then his muscle memory's kicking in and he's pressing the wrong buttons. I'll have to ask him if I get a chance to later on in some sort of crazy interview, but this is really scary now. It's a big army, 112 army supply. MARU should not have any business making this game even vaguely competitive. But today, MARU forgot how to lose StarCraft games. And there is no other way to explain and analyze what is happening in this series except MARU forgot how to lose. He has been on the worst end of the build orders and the momentum and the tempo in this game for 17 minutes, and he has 110 army supply, 20 army supply lead, pushing into the Zerg base. Serral, he's in trouble. Bane's going, beautiful Blinding Cloud! The Blinding Cloud to end all Blinding Clouds. The Banes don't have anything that they're good against him. He's like, where are the ghosts? Mate, MARU's broke Serral. He doesn't have any ghosts. The Banelings ran around going, where are the ghosts? He doesn't have any money for ghosts, man. The Lingbane Ravager trying to defend. 49 workers have gone down to Zerglings on the counter. It was a sick push here for MARU, but he's now down 20 army supply. The next wave should be able to overwhelm him. So many Ravagers, Biles across the tanks. The Lingbane numbers coming in. There's no Hellbats left to deal with the Lings. The Ravager count is crazy. MARU is dodging Ravager projectiles with medevac pickups, which is amazing. This Thor is going to take down 6 Zerglings on his side of the map. He's like, it's fine. 7 Zerglings even. I've got this. 3 red hit point Thors, 2 siege tanks, and 3 damaged medevacs walk into a bar. The bartender says, how's it going? He says, I'd like a beer, please. The bartender pulls out a bunch of infestors and 46 Ravagers and then brutally murders him right there. Serral somehow still alive in this series. All right, guys. MARU in the bottom left side of the map, and he's doing it again! Oh my god, you Chad! MARU, is his shoulder hurting or is he tired? This reminds me of the PiGFest 6 finals against MaxPax. He proxy raxed MaxPax, I think 4 out of the 6 games they played. 4 out of the 6 or 7 games they played. He just kept doing it. Serral in the top right side. Now, there's an art to this. Your opponent's not going to expect it, right? It's so silly to do this. And sometimes going doubling down, people don't expect it can be really good. It's a gamble, but he has another map to spare, and he says, I think this is going to work. I think this will give me an advantage. Serral has gone hatch first. The barracks are even closer. This is harder to defend. Part of MARU's championships have always been his preponderance to go for crazy cheeses. The mixture of extremely good early game rushes, excuse me, and extremely good late game is what makes him such a fierce combo. Spawning pool timing is, I think that's a minute 12, which is not bad. Serral will venture in that direction, and it'll give him time. Now the question is, guys, does he go for a second gas and a roach roar and give up the hatchery? If so, I think he plays from behind, but he does not lose the game to a 2 barracks. If he tries to defend the natural, it's all going to be about his micro. And seeing the SCV there, I think he should realize the barracks are very close. He doesn't reveal that he scouted it. He's pulling the Overlord back to the pillar, so MARU doesn't know he's been scouted. That's why Serral's hiding this. Very clever, but no second gas. Serral's going to pull the drones. He's going to fight this head on. Serral pulls all the drones, including the ones off gas, and he is looking to surround the first Marines and build a spine crawler. He's going to build a spine crawler. That's what he didn't do last time. I do think he was missing a spine crawler last time, but we'll see how he goes with this. Drone's going to go for the surround of the Marines. He's got 1 attacking the SCV. He pulls away from the SCV. He doesn't manage to get the Marines. MARU's micro is insane. MARU gets 4 SCVs. Drones already. 6 drones down. That is crazy damage. Serral has already gone back to droning because he knows his economy has just taken an insane hit. That was potentially too much damage, but the Lings get a pretty juicy surround. And I think he can now clean this bunker up pretty well. Wait a second. Is that actually a good hold? It's only a 2 Rex. Remember, the factory's on the way. Command center can start soon. It's such a crazy amount of economic damage. There's only 1 queen out. Second one starts. If his lings can get across the map, they could cause disruptions. MARU is insane. He's going to build the command center on the natural. MARU! I mean, you know what they say, guys. You know, it's fortune favors the brave, right? Fortune favors the brave. He's like, hey, if those lings come across, I got 5 Marines. I can defend them. You're not going to rally more Zerglings? That would be crazy. And it's calculated and it's correct. It is correct. Even though he can't one-shot Zerglings with 5 Marines, it's good enough. Barracks are going to go in here as well. I agree, Twitch chat, YouTube chat. Terran strategies are pathetic. Stop attacking! I'm not ready! To be fair, when I shut it down, it's a fair strategy on the ladder, and when they beat me, it is a cheap, stupid strategy. That is actually my thought process when I'm playing as well. I think it's natural. That's just RTS gamer mindset. If you attack before I'm ready, you're a cheesy douche, and if you... I managed to stop your attack. Fair play. Good attempt, sir. Serral's going to try to go for a base. Oh, the Hellion finds the Zerglings. He's got a split. Serral a little slow on the split. MARU gets a nice harvest here. That Hellion farming Zergling kills. Dude. Thankfully, this isn't a MOBA. That Hellion will not be leveling up. Otherwise, he'd already be level 3 after all that feeding. Damn. Ling speed's on the way. Third base will get up. Who's ahead here, guys? You guys, experts in the chat on 2 racks transitions. Because this feels pretty good for MARU. His third's almost finished. Third's just starting for Serral. He's going to go for the very early eBay. So I think there's a big window for Serral to just like hold the drone key down. It's only going to be Hellion pressure, nothing else for quite a while. I don't know. I think Serral can get in a very competitive position in this game, but I think MARU's a bit ahead, yeah? 10 lings to 1 Hellion feels, it ain't it. I mean, it was like 6, right? I think he lost 4 to the Marines earlier, didn't he? Or maybe it was only 2 to the Marines earlier, actually. MARU's going to be very far ahead on the upgrades. That is true. This is going to be, yeah, the Evo started, so it's going to be, I'd say probably about 70, maybe 60 seconds, about a minute ahead on the attack versus the armor, which are the most important interactions. Serral's third will saturate soon. If Serral could guess what's happening, he could try to rush a 4th. The problem is, it's very hard to make that guess. So he you know, it's going to be hard for him to figure out what's happening. He did kill one of the barracks, which is good. So MARU does have to rebuild these. Like, that is actually quite valuable. And this Ling would love to see what's going on, but plenty of Marines. Serral starts a lair, trying to drone his third. And I think MARU just chills. Oh, whoa. Armory. Wait, why? Guys, why is MARU going armory? Oh, just for the 2-2 timing, right. He's 1-1 so early, I didn't even realize he needed it that fast. I'm like, what? You can't do a Hellbat timing with this build. His 1-1 is so early. Wow. Oh, man, his 2-2 timing is going to be insane. This is one of those games where, honestly, if he goes fast 4th command center, he can't even force fights with 2-2. MARU will probably be forcing the biggest fights with 3-3. Against like 1-2 for Serral. He'll have like a triple upgrade advantage at 3-3. If he just keeps upgrading, he's going to have like a pretty sick, close to max 3-3 timing. When you start your upgrades this early, that's the joy. Armory just finished. 1-1 just finished. Let's look at this. Come on, MARU. Be quick, boy. Don't be forgetting. This is your whole build. Your whole build is about the upgrades. Go for it. He'll start in a second. Hellions are pulling back. Overlord comes in. He's going to confirm that it is just a bio transition. Sees the barracks count. Doesn't look very ambitious. I think you know it's really fast upgrades here as well. Even if you didn't click on the Marine, I think you can surmise that. Here comes a nice Stim Marine Hellbat pressure as well. 2-2 finally does begin. Carapace is going to kick in about 12 seconds. It's going to be here just in time. That's really clutch for Serral. He's got 10 Banes, but he will not have Bane speed. So I think he's going to have to do a bit of stutter stepping away with the Queens. He's only got 2 transfuses. Yeah, you really want to like run away and bait more Stims out of MARU. 4th base is vulnerable. Oh, he's got to get the Banes on this. Spine only gets 2 hits off before it goes down. Good move for MARU. Forces Serral to engage him. Otherwise, he's going to lose his hatchery. And he gets the kill. MARU snipes the hatchery. Saves a Hellbat. Gets out of there. All the Marines escape. Beautiful play there for MARU, who's now got a 4th command center and a 4th and 5th barracks on the way. You know, this is a sort of game where if Serral held down nothing but Ling Bane from here, and went for a +1 carapace mass speed bane timing, he actually kills MARU. It's something you would never do that. And this is why MARU's greed is so smart. Because no one does a 60 drone massling bane timing. That's dumb. That's a silly move. This isn't 4K MMR. But because MARU's done this so consistently in this series, I actually think Serral should be all-inning off 60 to 70 drones, probably, most games. Or at least mixing one in. Like, it feels like, because his barracks are, like, never consistently producing. He's just building command centers and upgrades and factories and all this. And, like, once MARU gets close to max, his army's insane. His upgrades are insane. And you can see he's kind of, like, he's letting Serral play an honest game of StarCraft, and he's very intelligently cutting corners. I love what MARU's doing today. Play the opponent. Serral, a conservative Zerg, also much less likely than other Zergs to punish you for that. That was a good hatch cancel. The supply, with where the upgrades are at, the fact that MARU's bullying Serral a bit with the Marines, you really can see the advantage of the early game. This is very light pressure for this stage in the game. Just 2 medevacs on each side, not really committing too much. But Serral's stuck on 78 workers. He is trying to go quick hive, so I think it's going to be straight to probably one or two Vipers, Adrenal Glands, and then try to make his way to Ultras. Basically a pure Ling Bane style. One of the best styles when you're behind. How many gases does Serral have, guys? 5. 5 gases. Quite a lot of gas. So we can afford 2 Vipers for Parasitic Bomb and Blinding Cloud. Creep Spread's stuck in his corner. No Zerg really enjoys being this contained. Oh, Baneling drop! Oh, very nice move there for Serral. 13 workers. Well done. He was actually behind in workers before that, so he kind of needs moves like that. Drop on the right side, drop on the left. Actually, the tanks here as well. 2 tanks in the middle of the map. He caught a queen off creep there. Serral, he's down in army supply. It's 2-2 against 1-2. Upgrade's close to even right now. 3-3 hasn't started just yet for MARU. Ling Bane comes over here. Serral's going to try to take both expansions. He doesn't want to be forced to fight. Oh, the Widow Mines. Oh, that Widow Mine got a boom boom. Oh, I think MARU might be able to finish him off here on Tourmaline, guys. The surprise proxy racks building an advantage in the early game. Gets his 3cc up. He's been bullying Serral with the pressure, and he's just not letting Serral get a 5th up. Serral's stuck on 4 base. He's got Adrenal, but no room to build anything else. 2 Vipers, Ling Bane, Adrenal. Can't afford +3 carapace, really. Serral trying to hang on, but MARU playing an excellent game and building 3-3 in another command center. Wow, MARU just, I mean, he got himself a good advantage. He played so greedy and has bullied on the map at the same time. Very well played. It's hard to do that. It's hard to be this greedy and still be assertive on the map. I thought he might give Serral enough room to drone back up and like catch up, but MARU walked this tightrope of doing both at once, you know? Greed and aggression. Hard to pull that off. Serral now finds himself miles behind, down 30 army supply. With pure Ling Bane, that is a very bad position to be in. Ling's Bane trying to roll forwards. Can't quite deactivate these Widow Mines. They're everywhere, and MARU's going to split to the south as well. Widow Mines get some decent hits. Beautiful kiting here. Baits Serral into the siege tanks on the ledge. The Parasitic Bomb is kind of cutesy. The Vipers do pull back there, but Serral just cannot clean this up. And you can see Serral, I think he realizes this is a disaster. Barely holds there. These Widow Mines are just walking in to be a nuisance on their own, creating problems. There's bio on this. He's got almost no creep spread. 1 tumor isolated there. It's a massive army advantage. Right now, the upgrades are even. That's not going to last much longer either. Marines pulling away from the Banelings. The Marauders trying to stop them. More bio stimming in. Widow Mines burrowing on the front lines. Serral does not have the numbers. And MARU today, a menace. He says proxy, barracks, mech, turtle to late game, bio builds, ghost builds, Hellions, Cyclones, Banshees. There are so many different tools MARU has in his kit. And I dare say, I think when they're in his hands, MARU may just have, to quote Marine Lord, the better tools. I think MARU just has the better tools, guys. Sorry, it's an old reference, but it's a goodie. The Banelings get a few decent connections there. The bio just in 2 great numbers. MARU played this so well, dude. This is excellent, excellent play. The Banes are all forward. The Lings are on top, as are the Parasitic Bombs. Serral's going to have to tap out. Oh, MARU. On fire today. Serral played a really good series, but damn, dude. MARU's comebacks in Game 1 and Game 2 are going to go down in Legend as just freakish, freakish performance. GG, well played. GG, well played. That was an exhausting series. How's your condition after such a long win?
조금 힘든데 그래도 이겨서 괜찮은 것 같습니다.
Yeah, of course it's tough for me, but since I won, I think it's fine.
I think so. You don't have to play again today, which is good. You get tomorrow off to prepare for the semi-finals, which is exciting. You know, I think that's gonna help you out a bit. Obviously, going straight to the semi-finals, you will be playing someone who comes from the other side of the bracket, who crosses over into your side, kind of thing. So that should make things a little bit better. This was a really scary series. Were you feeling fatigued? And that's why you chose to proxy barracks 2 games in a row? Or did you just think this would catch Serral off guard?
세랄 선수가 이제 대군주로 주변 서치를 한 번도 안 하길래 그냥 몇 판은 해야겠다고 생각했는데 초반에 좀 스코어가 좋게 나와가지고 마음 편하게 했던 것 같습니다.
So in the research of Serral lately, he doesn't really try to scout the proxy barracks with his first or second overload. So I plan to play this kind of proxy barracks if my score is ahead than him. So yeah, since I won several games already, so I chose that and then snipe it.
I think it's a really good gamble in those conditions. I think already, though, this was such a good start. Well, this was weird. You were a bit behind in game 1, and then game 2, you were miles behind. Did you ever expect to make comebacks from such bad positions? Like game 2 especially was a crazy comeback. Did you believe you could come back, or were you as shocked as we were?
조금 힘들 것 같았는데 제가 업그레이드가 워낙 좋았어가지고 한 타이밍 있겠다 싶어서 최대한 잘 막았던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I thought it was rough for me to come back, especially second set. It would be really rough, but I thought my upgrade was actually good. So I thought if I held the harassment or like attack, and then made full army, and I thought there was one good timing, and actually it worked well.
It was amazing. I mean, yeah, you were hanging in there. I mean, you were so far behind, so it was so scary. But you played really, really well. I think that's intimidating and hard to play against for anyone at this point. So I think your late game ZvT is looking fantastic. We were so excited. We won't keep you for much longer. I really feel like I will just grab one more question from chat quickly. And yeah, it feels like you're playing so many different styles. You have mech, you have bio. Sometimes it's very Cyclone Hellion. Sometimes it's tanks. Sometimes it's 2 barracks proxy. You have so many different strategies. Do you think this makes it especially hard for your opponents to predict what you're going to do next?
일단 그런 것도 있고 또 하나만 하면 재미가 없어가지고 그냥 여러 가지 하고 저도 빌드 만드는 거 좋아해서 그래서 많이 여러 가지 해보는 것 같습니다.
So yeah, of course, I'd like to make my future opponent to think I'm the most difficult opponent to predict, of course. But in general, I do like to have fun. I don't want to play one damn strategy again and again. And then at the same time, I'm also like a kind of person who likes to make tons of new and variety strategy. So that's why it became like that, and it helped me.
Awesome. I mean, it's such a pleasure to watch because for us, seeing a different opening build order every time, whether it's, even though your late game often converges in the same spot where you're the best player in the world right now, by far, ZvT especially, it's a pleasure to watch. So thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you 2 days from now in the semi-finals. 감사합니다, MARU, and GG, well played.
Thank you.
Thank you.